poppin' YouTube? It's your boy KiteZz here with my lovely wife Alex.
What's up, peoples?
And I'm also here with the right hand man, 2G1A Westside.
What up, though?
And also I have my moderators in the YouTube chat. Shout out to Jules Hammond. Shout out to Demetrius. Shout out to Nitro, Big Nitro. And shout out to Cinder. Cinder is in the crowd today, but he is also 2G1A. Like Jules Hammond has said in the chat, let's try to keep the language and everything respectful. Watch your mouths. Today we are on episode 24 of Flock Talk, where we talk our talk with the flock. Thank you guys for 24 successful weeks of Flock Talk. Hopefully the dialogue is engaging today. Somebody actually put a topic in the Flock Talk topics, so we have something to talk about. If you guys aren't putting topics in there and you guys got something you want to talk about and you're wondering why it's not getting talked about, that's on you, right? So before we begin, do any of the people up here need to say anything? Alex, West?
No, I don't.
Y'all got 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and if you spend the first 30 seconds of your your time period saying how much you love Kite and Alex and how glad you are to be a member, that's cool. But you just use 30 seconds.
All right, let's get to it. First things first. This week's episode of Pop the Balloon and Find Love. Episode 52. Now, this episode, it was interesting. I will say that for sure. We got some very interesting responses.
Back to my channel. It's your host Arlette, and we are here with another episode of Pop the Balloon or Find Love. And we've got
show the lineup.
Line up. Make some noise, guys.
Right. This episode, the men came out. One thing we did point out, Miles did make a very good point last week where he talked about the guys that come out in suits seem to have a low success rate when it comes to getting matches. Not saying that they don't get matches, it's just that the probability of them walking away with a match was very low, very slim. This week, we didn't see any guys in suits. It was very casual streetwear. You know, the nicest, cleanest guy was the guy with the polo, who was the MMA fighter. So this lineup, we had 3, 6, 7, 8 gentlemen. There was 2 matches, I believe, total. Yeah, there was 2 matches total. Overall, the women that came out on this episode, they were interesting. They weren't horrible. They were interesting, for sure. Majority of the guys up here, they weren't, I can't even say that they were bad. If anything, a lot of them didn't really even get a chance to really shine because it kind of went by pretty fast for them. Do note we have the guy right here in the orange who was the comedian. Even though he was a comedian, he was not unbearable. He actually kept it tame. He didn't try to pop out and show off for everybody. He actually was cool. This gentleman to the left of him was very cool. He kept it smooth. I think he ended up getting a match. The superstar of this episode was, of course, this gentleman in the gray shirt who was a proudly declaring cheater. I don't know why anybody would like to proudly declare being a cheater, but he said the statement, if you irritate me, I'm going to go cheat. And I am an occasional cheater. So the fact that you came on a show to find love and you are willingly admitting that you are loyal to your partner 80% of the time, that's crazy. You should not have even came here. I wish they would have took him off and just removed him from the show. The man in the sweatsuit, he was a military, he was in the Air Force security guy. He ended up getting a match. He was cool. This young man right here, the student, he was very cool too. I feel like I don't understand a lot of the reasons that they popped on him. Maybe it was for the fact that they felt like he looked too young, but I don't understand why looking young is a bad thing in the black community. I'll never get it. I'll never understand it. They call people old all the time, and now you look too old or you look too young, and it just don't matter. The MMA fighter, he was cool. He didn't do nothing too crazy. This man right here, he attempted more. I feel like all the guys up here tried to get matches for sure. It wasn't one of those things where it was a guy just popping on everybody. And then we had this tall gentleman right here who was weirdly was rejected for being too tall by I think like one or two of the women. He was rejected for being too tall, but then he had the audacity to reject a woman for her voice, even though 90% of the time he spoke, it was very hard to understand him because he spoke in a low, hushed whisper. So it's ironic you're popping people for your voices when your voice is hard to hear. So overall, we did have some, the females on there for sure weren't interesting, but we can get more into that if people want to talk more into that. But now I'm going to kick it off to my lovely wife, It's Just Alex, and so she can share her take of the overall episode.
It was entertaining. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. And now I'm going to start bringing people up so you guys can share how you guys feel about the episode. Steppa.
Say they had their hand raised before you even asked the question. That's crazy.
Right. All right, Steppa, go ahead, man. How did you feel about this week's episode?
Yeah. Just the word, y'all. What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm at work with it,
I feel it.
making money. Yes, sir. Oh, honestly, the whole entire episode, it was actually interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I actually enjoyed it for once. It was interesting. Very interesting. I mean, except for the guy with the gray shirt who says that he cheats.
Mm-hmm.
We do not condone no cheaters around here. So.
No, we do not.
Word. Nope. We don't condone that. Other than that, the whole entire episode was actually interesting. I enjoyed it. Pretty much entertaining. Give it a good 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right. Next up, we got Duty Mac. Duty, how did you feel about the episode, brother?
What's going on, Les? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna keep it real simple today since my man Clock ain't on my intro, so I'm gonna just keep it simple. Hope y'all having a great evening on this Friday evening. Today is Friday, right? Yeah, today's Friday. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm doing some Uber Eats while I'm listening to y'all. This is my me time. But anyway, the episode was it was a mixed bag, nothing crazy. It was typical, at this point, I'm kind of with Alex. I'm just here for entertainment. If people get a match, cool, great, we'll love it. If you don't, well, kind of have expected that. It doesn't matter anymore because I know what people are on when it comes to the show. Only two people who I didn't like. You know what? 1.5 people. Because Buddy, that was a cheater. He was hilarious. He was complete entertainment for me. You did it to yourself. Nothing more needs to be said. The women weren't bad except for the one in the green dress. Complete bird. I didn't like how she whittled everybody down, and when she said that whole thing about I don't like traditionalism, you up out of here. I don't deal with I hate this term, but I don't deal with new age women. I don't deal with that. I am an independent woman. Hear me roar. I don't do traditional. Nah, you up out of here with that. Because otherwise, why are you trying to get into a relationship, let alone marry? But anyway, I'm gonna say something as far as the suit thing real quick before I move on. In the words of my man Anton Daniels, women just have to like you. That's all it is. They just have to like you. When they like you, it doesn't matter what you got on, doesn't matter how you look. If they like you, they rocking with it. That's all that needs to be said. When they start coming at you about your outfit and all the other stuff, it's because they already don't like you, but they have to whittle down to a shallow reason. As far as the suit thing is concerned, people don't come on this show dressed to impress anyway. You want my honest opinion? They just throw on whatever and just call it a day. And as far as the men, women say they want suits, and I don't even like using this word, but that's all cap. That's all BS. No, it don't. They want thugs. What they saying about that? We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those thugs. They want thugs. They want thugs. That's what they want. And as we saw from that previous episode with the girl in the white dress, that proved it. They want thugs. So again, when they like you, you can wear whatever you want. It don't matter. They cool with it. And if they say otherwise, they're lying. So, that's just what I gotta say for now.
Okay. Shout out to Duty. They don't want suits. They want thugs. All right, Chris. How did you feel?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
How you feeling about this week's
All right,
episode,
guys.
brother?
Guys, you're gonna make me go bald. Listen, I'm 41 and I'm about to go bald. Guys, first of all, women said they want tall dudes. There was a guy that was 6'8". He did not get picked at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
True.
So where's this talk about what women want? Because here's the reality. I don't listen to what women want. I get what women that want me. That's really the actual situation. You know,
Right.
But anyways, going back to the traditional woman, see, you can tell this woman is used to dating weak men. You can tell she's used to dating weak men because that's how she's used to controlling men. But I'm confused here with the guys in this panel. Y'all say that a woman can lead a man, but then you want a traditional woman. That's not how it works. So if you guys are going to be leaders, step up and be leaders and take responsibility for everything in your life.
Mm.
So don't say you want somebody traditional, but then you don't want to be an actual leader. So, and finally on this, I don't want to go to Florida mess. Listen, that woman is lying. If that was Chris Brown or whatever celebrity that she actually liked, best believe that woman would be in Florida. So miss me with this. I don't do this. Women are gonna do whatever when they actually like you.
Okay. Chris talked his talk. All right. Thank you, Chris. Will Too Humble, then Armed Swordsman.
Yo, what's good?
How you doing?
What's up, Will?
I'm doing good. This episode, to me, was the typical modern day society episode. You have the woman dressing in the green, talking about she's not traditional. You have the first woman, talking about she is asking questions like, why do you cheat? And then asking why or why not, which is, I find to be crazy. And my man's who's talking about I'm 80% loyal, blah, 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 blah. And all I'm really thinking about is y'all are absolutely the problem here. Y'all are the problem. Y'all are the reasons why we have to second guess. We have to think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 10 times ahead of every single thing that goes on with life. That's what we have to do. And that's crazy. It's crazy that I had to really do that. And not to mention, it was like, when you sit up here and you talk like this, it's a red flag already. Although, can't stand to be too blunt, can be too real, because it's toxic. Why you have to be like this? I can't believe it. Now I'm scared. And now, look at us now. Now we sitting up here thinking about what we do, 2-3 times ahead. I mean, one of the contestants itself was talking about, I got to be careful or how I articulate next time. But it was just like, you said nothing wrong. That person just didn't like what you had to say. And this is the modern day craziness, modern day, well, I don't want to listen to nobody, modern day whatever. And guess what? It's going to continue to happen until they realize time is undefeated. But that's all I wanted to say.
Good. Shout out to Will Too Humble.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Armed Swordsman, you are up, brother. How did you feel about this episode?
Okay, good night. How are you doing?
Yep, I'm doing great. How are you?
Okay, good. Actually enjoyed this episode. Like, I think this episode would have been a 10 out of 10 if you had removed the first 2 interactions and left the rest. I think it would be a 10 out of 10. It was overall an interesting and enjoyable episode, honestly, to me. There is foolishness that happens, but there's always some kind of foolishness that happens. So that's not surprising, but I mean, it comes down to the usual wanting a traditional relationship when it benefits you, but everything else that you would have to give up, no, you don't want those parts, because based on everything that she said, that is the lady in the green, it is obvious that she wanted somebody to follow her lead. And in a traditional relationship, that's not going to work. So she when she heard traditional relationship, what she heard is slavery, and I can't do what I want to do, and I'm going to have to follow, and that just turned her off. So it doesn't matter what the guy had said. Once she heard traditional, she was going to be out of there. So that's that. And I think it's because I think he's pretty young as well. So I hope he comes to a point where I hope men overall come to a point where when you actually value traditional relationships, you don't have to try to morph your answer into just protecting and providing, because there's a lot more that men are responsible for, and those responsibilities matter, right? Those responsibilities matter, especially in a relationship. So you can't just boil down everything to providing and protecting, like Tank had said, because he said he was in a relationship previously and he did that and he thought that was enough. Turns out it wasn't, because it really isn't, right? There's more. And the leadership is a big part. And this is where I'm going to push back against Chris a bit, because a wonderful tool that leaders need is delegation, right? So because you're a leader doesn't mean that you're the one taking on every single task. It still means that you're responsible for the task getting done, but you can delegate the task. So that is important to know. That doesn't mean that, because remember, your wife is your partner for a reason. The Bible says the two will become one, right?
That's about as much time as I can let you have, brother.
All right. I was wrap it up there. Leading is important, and men should lead. It's important. That's all.
Gotcha. I appreciate you
spitting.
You were spitting. All right. Now we got Big Moose. Go ahead, Big Moose. Talk your talk.
Yo, how y'all doing? Episode, I was listening to it at work, and episode was entertaining. Like I said, I watched a lot of these episodes, and it did seem like a typical episode. Minus the cheater, bruh. They should have took him off as soon as he said that tomfoolery. Because you cheat 80% of the time, that was some malarkey. I'm like, bro, how are you on a dating show and you cheat? And Arlette hit it with that ultimate defense, because I was elicited, and she came in, I can hear it. He was like, hold on, don't you got something else to say? And he'd act like he was playing dumb. I said, bro, you a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Why did you get on this show? People are actually looking for relationships here, and you not it, my boy. That was not the play for you. That was not the play. And then the chick that asked why you didn't cheat. Excuse me? Who wants to cheat? Like that? No, that was the wrong question to ask. I was really confused on that. Maybe because she's young. I don't know. She was 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
that was that was the episode. I guess, like I said, the green chick, y'all had me rolling too. She did look like a Disney princess or something with that dress on. Yeah, y'all had me rolling with the comment. The traditional thing, I mean, I don't know how much more time I got. I'll make it quick. The traditional thing, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't grow up with parents that got married. I guess I can look at my grandma and grandpa's relationship. They were married for 55 years. And I've said I was married for a very split second, but I think it takes, like y'all said, 100% on both ends, because it's an investment for a marriage, and it's more to a marriage than just protect and provide. And you got a lot more to do. So, but that's all I got to say on that.
All right. Shout out Big Moose.
All right. Shout out to Big Moose.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
I didn't mean to cut him off while he said appreciate y'all. My fault, Gengi. That was
No, he finished it.
Oh, okay. Miles, can I raise my hand? Is there something stopping you from raising your hand?
Yeah, I closed it. Go ahead.
you stopped him from raising his hand.
Everybody else.
I didn't stop him specifically, but I closed it.
Oh, okay. I got it. All right. I forgot who was up first between Jules and Yeshua. So
Jules and then Yeshua.
Okay, Jules, go ahead,
then
man.
Nitro, then Miles.
Yeah.
Valencia said Big Moose is crazy. Demetrius Jefferson said this episode was decent. Mr. 80% loyal did too much the whole episode, and Shorty that came out talking about feminine divine energy was tweaking. D Brick said it was funny to me. More people need to come on and be themselves, even the cheater. I cannot be mad at someone letting you know who they are. Now I know how to deal with you. Very true. All right, go ahead, Jules.
Yeah, I said we can hear him. I said no.
We cannot hear
You
you.
might need to disconnect and come back, Jules.
I know Discord be a little faulty. Maybe one day we'll own a platform or something and we can do a call center type thing. Go ahead, Jules. If it's tweaking, you probably need to go to your Discord settings and change your microphone, brother.
Yeah, or I don't know if you're on the phone, close the app and come back, or if you're on your laptop, close it and come back. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. While he's fixing his settings, Yeshua, go ahead, man.
Good night, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Just thanking God for another day, another chance, you know.
Amen.
This episode, I didn't really feel as much despair as I would the previous episodes. This episode was actually interesting. But the guy who's the cheater, I don't know if him think that this is pop the balloon and find a victim, but you're meant to find love. No, I don't have much to say about the men, but I have two main things regarding the women. The first thing, the death of, what you call it, modesty in the dating field. The first girl and the girl with her chest open, I hated both their outfits. The first girl, her torso was see-through, and I don't know what was that thing on the bottom of the dress. The girl with her whole chest out, I don't know why. To me, it seems like she was in heat and she just wanted someone to cool her down, because I really think that they just booked a hotel and go get it done. That's the energy I got. There was no meaning, no nothing. The second thing is the death of standards in the dating, because men, they will drop their standard to accept women who are immodest just because of lust. They're willing to just take any kind of woman as long as they can get lustful fulfillment. And then the standard drop even more because there's no more tradition. You can't call yourself a leader anymore. You can't say certain things or the women will get upset. And the men don't have the backbone to stand and say what they want to, because they fear that the women won't want them anymore. And the women want to have the cake and eat it too. The girl don't want the tradition, but yet still she wants to do what she can do, be the ruler, be the head, and then have a man at her side. And men are just reduced to paying the bills and protecting our women can just do what they want. It just highlights the death of standards in dating, and I just find it really sad. And the girl with the what did she wear upon her hand? That blue thing. Yeah, if she really wants
the little hand, the little mitts.
Yeah. You go with the dress, I thought. If she wanted it to go with the dress, she could use a light pink, because pink and green go together. And the eyeliner, the blue eyeliner, I didn't think it was working. But otherwise on that, I think that's it.
Okay. Shout out Yeshua. He's out here cooking.
Not Tinkerbell. Jalen is stupid.
Bro, I wish I could show y'all the reference of what I was actually referencing when I was singing that song, but I would get copyrighted.
Oh, I could do it in the gifts. Hold on.
Yeah, we would get copyrighted, but yeah, I'm not doing the singing thing again. Even though people liked it, it was out of character, so we won't do it no more. But all right, Jules, let's see if your microphone's working this time, brother.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Finally. I'll make this short and sweet. I feel like the women on this episode were pretty decent, except my only real gripe is with the first one. As someone who is 22 and got done being 21 a year or so ago, I feel where she's coming from, but the whole why don't you cheat question, Yeah, I was scratching my head when she said that. So that was woman number one. Woman number two, I got a bone to pick with her. As someone who has a beard, I was low-key offended, just a little bit.
Mhm.
Lady with her torso out, I didn't really have a problem with her. She was cool. And all the other women that came on after number two, after lady number two was cool. Now, as for the men, why are we accepting cheaters in 2025? Just why?
Because morals are out the window, brother.
I thought so. But other than that, I felt like the rest of the men were cool. Yeah, that's really about it.
Okay. Shout out Jules Hammond. All right. Nitro,
What's happening?
how you doing?
You know, just another day in the life.
Mm-hmm.
But second guy in the lineup. When it came to that cheat question with the first girl, that's what I'm just gonna talk about real quick. I'm wondering if anyone actually listened to when she asked it the first time, right? Because again, it's if have you cheated? If you haven't, why or why not? And if you have, it's obviously the question is why, right? There's a chance there to open up dialogue about your values. So even if it's a no, which ideally most people would say no, right? That they haven't cheated, it's their chance to talk about your values in that moment and bring let someone get to know you in that moment, right? She had asked that before even got to the that second guy, and then when he just said no, she reinstated like, and why not, right? And then all of a sudden it's because of how he didn't like how she asked the question. So that means no one listened, just based on what I heard in this chat and even on the live situation. It's like, did you hear it? Because if you didn't like the question, you should have popped the first time. That means no one was listening. All right, so that's what I was just trying to say on that piece. Like, yeah, she's 21, she's young. It may have sounded stupid to most, but it was a chance to actually speak about yourself, even if you haven't cheated. If you have cheated, like, you know, the cheater man 80% of the time or 20% of the time, whatever, because he's a cheater anyway. You know, he would have the chance to explain why.
I can see that.
Cheated, right? So that's all I wanted to say, because no one, it seemed like no one actually listened to the question, even though it was very, very light.
I feel like
I think how the question was phrased.
I think it's more of the reason why people don't care for the question or support the question is it goes back to the point where I said if you have to have like a moral discussion about why you don't do something that's wrong, then it goes into like it questions you as an individual in general. For instance, right, that's like me coming up to you and asking, have you ever murdered somebody? And if you haven't murdered somebody, why not? It's like, oh, like if you confess to murder, that's interesting. Why did you kill people? But why not? Well, why haven't I killed somebody? Like, I don't need to have like most people, and I'm just speaking in general. I'm not even trying to shut down your point, because I get what he's trying to, I get the point you're making, but it's more of like there's things in life that we don't need confirmation, or morality needs to even be a key factor in it. When have you killed somebody? And if you haven't killed somebody, why haven't you killed somebody? Well, because I'm not a murderer. I don't kill people. You know, it's not even by me saying that, you can't get a good gauge of my morality by me saying I don't kill people, because then I don't kill people, but I rob people. I don't kill people, but I assault people. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, there's no real like key identifiers you can get from, do you cheat? Oh, so you've never cheated. Why don't you cheat? It's like, I just don't have the interest in doing that because it's just wrong. It's wrong in general. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying though, but I think that's why a lot of people, that question is dumb, because it's like, if we have to explain the morality of why we don't do things that are just naturally bad or naturally wrong, then we're getting to a point where we're blurring lines, or we're digging too deep on things that are just simple human etiquette. If you see a baby crying and there's nobody nearby the baby, are you instinctively going to go help the baby, or are you going to ignore the baby? If you're a regular human being, you're going to go help the baby. If you're a person that something is like, you're just overly skeptical and all that, you're going to sit there and let that baby just sit there and cry. But moral human beings, we're going to go help the baby. Just like most animals will help a baby of their kind if they see it there. So I get what he's saying though.
Yeah, I get it too.
Nitro, I hope I didn't shut down your point, but just like explaining the reasoning of probably why people aren't like, that question did not have as much weight as it should have. You get what I'm saying?
No, I get it. It's because obviously it sounded very light. You know, I think going to that moral side was just it's like the very first instinct on that question for me.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
Right.
I understand what you're saying as well. I see that.
Yeah. So I don't think your interpretation of it is 100% right. I think that was the purpose of her question. I just think a lot of people, it's like common sense that they wouldn't want to like do something horrible to horrible to someone that they love. You get what I'm saying? Instinctively. But yeah, shout out to Big Nitro. If you got something to say, go ahead, Alex. I know I'm talking a lot. Okay. Miles, I know you've been waiting for this. You've been Birdman rubbing your hands together. You had an anime scene where you stood up like Vegeta and looked towards the explosion. So I'm gonna let you bask in your glory like Keith Lee right now, and you say what you got to say.
Well, just like Vegeta, I got the M on my forehead, and that stands for Miles. I'm just letting you know. I'm going in. First of all, shout out to you, because you gave me my props on the show twice. I told you the man in the suit is not getting chose. Give me my flowers. My stock is up for 1 week. I don't care what nobody say. Exactly. When you're in your 20s, black men do not win with the suits, because the black women don't know what a good man is that's wearing a suit until they hit like 30. I said what I said. Give me my flowers, roses, whatever. I'll take any flowers. It don't matter. I'll take the fake ones too. Give me my flowers. My stock is up for 1 week. Okay, now as far as that question about, about the relationships and why you're not cheating and all that kind of stuff, that was just a dumb question from a dumb girl. It wasn't nothing too much to it. She was 21. You expect that from a 21-year-old. I do expect that, so it wasn't a shocker. You young and you dumb. And that's what you're supposed to do when you're young and dumb. You make stupid decisions. That's what she did with the eyebrows. That was a dumb decision. Now, we talking about the best thing I like about the show and the worst thing I like about the show. The worst thing I liked didn't like, was the military couple that got together. I think he's a simp. I think he a goofy. She didn't really like him, just like the job profession. And he played himself because she didn't like him. And he gonna have to remember that when they get into a fight, and she gonna be like, well, I ain't like you anyway. It's gonna come up, and I mark my words, it's gonna come up. The real thing I love was Arlette playing piggyback and bringing up stuff, because I think that's a real serious change that she did. She used to be a mutual, but now she's kind of like, oh nah, you was acting like this before. You know what I'm saying? You was acting like this when other people came around. I'm gonna let it be known and let it be shown. I think they should start doing that for some of these contestants, because there's a lot of lawsuits. And I think with these relationships, you hear about these like domestics and the lawsuits of a lot of contestants of just like their baggage, and you matching with these people and you don't know who you matching with. I think Arlette should come out there and say, hey, this ain't right. And like, I don't want you to leave with this guy or leave with this girl, to give them a fighting chance. But yeah, the show was entertaining. Everything was great. I want my flowers. I want them. And I don't care what nobody say. I was right. You will acknowledge me. And I'm done.
Hey, he did say it. It's in the Flock Talk archives. It is there. We can't deny his claim.
And it's on all of Pop the Balloon too. It's on all the Pop the Balloon. It ain't just this one. Look at all the Pop the Balloons after I said it. And wasn't nobody wearing those suits. I clocked every last one. St. Louis, Antarctica, Hawaii, Africa, Thailand Pop the Balloon. I seen all of them. Wasn't nobody wearing those suits. Give me my props. You know I was right. You know it.
All right.
He said Pop the Balloon Antarctica.
Bro.
Pop the Balloon Antarctica is insane. It's just some penguins in tuxedos standing in front. It's like, what? All right. You get it, bro. All right. Before we get on to Pop the Balloon or Find Love Netflix, I will give the opportunity now. I'm going to let Alex select one person who has a topic based off of this episode that they feel like they want to talk about really quick. This will be the topic for this episode because now we have not only this Pop the Balloon, but then we also have Pop the Balloon Netflix, and then we also have the topic that somebody wrote.
Hi, it's me again. I was playing. Okay, so my topic, and I've been wanting to say this for quite some time. And we might have gone over this before, so but refresher's always good. My topic is, do any of y'all think that not even with this generation, just this era of the world period, do y'all think that people are trying to get married anymore? Do you think they really mean it? Do you think it's being upheld the same way that it used to be? And as a little further bonus, does marriage matter to you?
Okay. First, I'll throw this off to West. West, if you're here, do you, as a person in the dating game right now, do you feel like marriage is the objective in dating now?
I mean, it's the objective for me. I can't speak for everybody else, but at the very least, I only ever kind of deal with anybody who says that they are interested in getting married and or starting a family and stuff like that. But for the most part, you'll come across a lot of women who, they believe in non-monogamy. They believe in situationships. They believe in just casual sex. And like Cinder made a great point. They trying to have fun until it's too late. And yeah, by the time they hit 30, 31, 32, they pretty much washed up. And that's when they want to try and settle down and get with people who have basically been trying to be serious their whole life. And it's like, that ship has pretty much sailed for you. I'm gonna be 100% honest. That's not something that most people want to hear. But I value seriousness. I value genuine stuff, and getting marriage is the end goal. But for the most part, I mean, you could even talk about systemically and how society is doing it. It's an active war against marriage. It's an active war against real relationships. It's an active war against just people being genuinely in love. Social media perpetuates negative stereotypes with love and relationships and marriages and stuff like that. And that's all you get pushed on your algorithm and such. So it's it's bad for most people, and they are actively society is seemingly actively against it, or getting actively against it. But me personally, I still want to get married. That is my goal. Will that happen? I don't know. The sky might crack open before I get married. Who knows? Hopefully not. But it is what it is at that point. But I do believe in marriage. I do believe in wanting to have kids, even though society makes me question every day whether or not I want to bring kids into this world. But we'll see what happens when the time comes.
I feel that. Yeah. I'm kind of on the same fence a little bit. A lot of what he said, I rock with. I heavily agree. As far as talking about the specific groups, a lot of women. Father, forgive me for saying this. Please forgive me for saying it like this, because this is not what I mean. When women come on this show, or just women in general, especially when I go to their Instagram or their social media pages, when women say, I'm God-fearing, or I want a God-fearing man, or I want a, for lack of better words, a religiously healthy family or dynamic, whatever. I hate to say it. I hate to say this because it sounds bad, but I'm starting to get real apprehensive. I mean, not starting, I've been that way, but I'm starting to get apprehensive of that because, as I think Kevin Samuels brought this up, women use that At least today, women use that as a ploy to get what they call a higher value man, because it's to get you say what somebody wants to hear so that they have an inclination to take a liking to you. Then if and when this you get the result that you want, you get in a relationship, then it goes wherever it goes from there. It's a lot of disingenuous semantics when it comes to that. I think people, they don't want marriage. Excuse me. They don't want marriage. They want the perfect situation. Do with that definition as you will. But what I mean by that is I want to be able to get with the person who has the most benefit to them so that I can reap from that benefit, because I don't feel like having to get it out the mud myself. I'd rather just already get to somebody who's at the finish line and go from there. Or if I can't get that, like he just said, people want to play around till it's too late because they think you have all the time. When you're young, you think you're invincible. You think you know everything. You got all the time in the world, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. And then pretty soon you look up and, oh, man, I'm 45. Oh, damn, I'm 55. And I'm still unmarried? Man, maybe it's time for me to settle. No, that ship is sailed, bro. That ship is sailed. And that goes for men. That goes for men and women. We have different time clocks on that, but the moral fiber of marriage has long been out the window. It's not about love anymore. It's not about building anymore. It's not about being fruitful and multiplying across the four corners of the world. No, that's over with. That's been over with. It's about getting in the best situation, how I can reap from it. If I have children, I'm gonna, pass down the same thing to them. Go out here and find somebody who you can, reap off of and go from there. People just, sleeping around, being 304s. Yada, yada, yada. It's nothing new. That's the biggest thing about it. None of this is new. Ain't none of this new. But the severity of the crisis has exponentially increased since the days of old. So, yeah, in my personal opinion, I want to get married. I do want a family. I want all of that. But as far as society is concerned, the day of marriage has long sailed. Like that's long over with. And when people say I want to get married, I'm very skeptical of if they're telling the truth, and if they are telling the truth, what's the reason behind it?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yep. Well, if you guys would like to answer our brother Duty Mac's question, now is the time. So somebody repost the question again for everybody. So
I already did.
Okay. The topic: do you feel like marriage is the objective in dating today, and what does marriage mean to you? So Steppa, go first, brother.
To be honest with you, in this type of generation, in my generation that we have, I don't feel like marriage does not really mean anything to them. But honestly, marriage do mean something to me because, I want to have a future with someone that I can love, and basically feel like I'm not a stranger to the person I'm trying to marry and all that type of stuff. But yeah, marriage is an end goal for me in the future, but I don't know where it's gonna take me. But marriage is an end goal for me in the future, though. To be very honest with you, but in this type of generation and this society we in today, I don't feel like marriage is an end goal for them because they pay attention to what they see on the internet and all that type of stuff, But other than that, marriage is definitely an end goal for me in the future. Have children, a beautiful wife, all that type of stuff.
Right.
And basically, person I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Exactly.
So yes, marriage. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but other than that, the only thing I can say is for the people in my generation who are like from 18 to 25, who born 1999 from 2004, they need to not pay attention to what they see on the internet. For example, there's not really much examples, but like the stuff that they see on the internet and the quotes that they pay attention to and all that stuff. So you feel me? So yeah. But marriage is the very much end goal for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Shout out Big Steppa.
Yep.
Be safe while you working, gang.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you.
Yep. All right. Chris, go ahead. Do you feel like marriage is the objective in dating today? And what does marriage mean to you? Hello? Chris, are you cooked? Do you guys hear him talking? I don't hear him at all. Am I talking?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking.
Yes.
Chris, you might have to disconnect and
hear him.
rejoin. We don't hear you, brother. I don't know what happened. All right, while Chris is fixing, I'm gonna disconnect you. Just rejoin. Jules, go ahead.
Alrighty. I'll answer the second part first before the first part because I actually want to get married someday. I definitely see myself being married to someone. I don't know who it is yet, but I'm 22, and at this point in my life, I'm not saying I'm ready to settle down, at least not yet, but I want to get to that place of, yeah, I'm ready to settle down, I'm ready to have a wife, and all that jazz. So I definitely believe in marriage because I had the greatest example of marriage, my parents, because they were together for a good amount of years before it ended due to my father passing away. But that's a whole nother thing for another day. Point is, I've seen marriage work. I've seen it be successful, but I've also seen unsuccessful marriages as well. And that kind of ties into the first part of Judy's question. Do I think my generation is cooked as it regards to marriage? Yes and no. And the reason why I'm saying yes is because look at Bob the Balloon. Look at all the examples and reasons why contestants have popped on other people.
Mm-hmm.
That right, and also the culture that we're in right now. Yeah, this generation is low-key cooked. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Jules. Armed Swordsman, go ahead, brother. Oh, actually, wait. Chris, go ahead. If you can speak now.
Hello?
There
Hello?
we go.
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was going to say, yes, I do believe in marriage, but here's the thing. Guys need to get married to themselves first. That's what needs to happen before you could get married to somebody out there. As far as what the guys were saying, listen, I don't care what these women want. I know these women are going to get married to me. Why? Because I'm like A1 sauce. I'm original. So there's nobody like me. And I believe and I'm very confident that there are women out there that would like to get married to me. That's how I think, you know? I don't listen. There are 7 billion people in this world. 7 billion. So you're telling me, for all the guys on this panel, you don't have faith that a woman doesn't want to get married to you? Because once again, this is about leadership. So you create the situations that you want out of life. And by the way, guys, like the reason why the women are all over the place sleeping around, because you guys created the situation for the women, actually. So why are you guys spending $1,000 on dates for it? Just to get boxed? So that's on y'all. So that ain't on the women. That is on y'all for allowing that behavior. But yeah, that's my thoughts. But overall, yes, I do believe in marriage, but I'm not going to get married to any woman. It's going to be a woman that follows my lead and goes in my path. That's the type of woman that I want to get married to.
So, for the first part of the question, are you going to answer that one? Do you feel like marriage is the objective in dating today? Do you feel like overall people's objective is marriage?
I would say yes, but once again, it also depends upon what the guy wants out of his life. Some guys want to be playboys. Some guys want to get married. It all depends what the man wants. But as for me, I do want to get married, but at the same time, I'm very particular with the type of woman that I want to get married to. So I'm not going to get married to any type of woman. And just because she dressed conservative doesn't mean she's an actual wife. Because there's a lot of women that dress conservative that are devils too. So you gotta watch out for that too. So yeah.
Okay. Shout out to Chris. Oh, I almost kicked West. All right. Arm sword.
I don't like how the little things move.
What did you say, West?
I was saying I would have been able to come back.
Oh, you talking about like after people mute themselves?
No, like if you kicked me, I would have just came back up.
All right, armed swordsman, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, again, I mean, this is a topic. Wow, this is such a deep topic for me. There are so much things I want to bring up, but I'm gonna keep it short and simple.
Okay.
The answer to number one is depends. I mean, I think a lot of people want to get married, but I think because of with the decline of morals, marriage is no longer as important as it was. Right? So because there was a question asked. It was, what can you get out of marriage that you cannot get in a regular relationship? And I remember this question being asked to a lot of people, and no one had the answer. Because the truth, a lot of people don't see the difference between a regular relationship and marriage. A lot of people think that if they're in a regular relationship and they're in this relationship for like 10, 20, 30 years, I'm like, I would say, why not get married? They're like, why get married? There's no point to it. They don't think that there's a point to it. So there's that important thing to note. And because it's a lot of things, is that people don't understand what marriage is. So I think that is the main issue. A lot of people downgrade marriage to like a piece of paper. I've heard this so much time. People downgrading marriage to a piece of paper, and every single time it annoys me so much. God created this beautiful thing for man and woman, and you have downgraded it to a piece of paper.
True.
You have graded it to something the government what? It annoys me.
Ordained by God before the government, but yeah.
Exactly. But put that aside. But a part of the reason is, a lot of people, they're afraid. So there's a one thing I always say, which I think is important. Like, men don't, just like how women don't want to be sex objects for men, men don't want to be resource objects for women, right? So a man doesn't want to just be a man who gives money, and that's all the relationship is based on. Just like a woman doesn't want to be in a relationship with a man that only sees her for sex. Right? And because of that, I don't understand. Because of not wanting to just be a sex object, which women say all the time, they then think that it seems to me like they think that there's no way they will find a man to treat them more than a sex object. Therefore, they sexualize themselves and then charge for it. That's what it seems to me. So they create the most sexual image, and then they say, you have to do this for me, you have to do that for me, you have to pay my bills, you have to do all of this. So then it just becomes a transaction. And that's why I think marriage isn't on their minds. It's just not as important. As for me, it is extremely important. I wish to find her. Still looking, but that's just it. It just seems like a mental thing. Everybody's afraid to be the thing, so they turn into the thing and then charge for the thing. It's wild, but that's just how it seems to me.
Okay. Cook ups. You've been cooking, armed swordsman. I'll give you your props. You've been cooking. You're on fire today. All right. I forgot who I brung up, so y'all just unmute
Too
somebody.
humble, big moves. You're sure.
Okay, well, too humble. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so to answer the first part, I do want to apologize, but I do want the question to be asked to me again.
Oh, go ahead. We can repost it. Somebody repost the question, please. Do you feel like
marriage is an objective in dating today, and what does marriage mean to you?
Thank you, Wes.
Okay, that's a great question. Marriage to me, I think that Marriage to me in this modern time is definitely all about transaction. It's all about benefits. It's all about who can extract what from who. That's really what I look at in this timeline. I don't really think that it's about love. I don't think it's about, family. I don't really think about any of those things because of what is being put out here, not only in the streets, but also on the internet, like everyone else says. It's because it's happening that much. And we are definitely not going to see enough of it because it's constantly happening every single day. And then somebody in the chat just mentioned about Shannon Sharp, which, to be honest, it's something that is an issue.
Right.
Knowing that that's another topic for another day. But it goes to show that that type of example is the reason why that even thinking of it is just like, okay, what's going to happen if we are in this situation? Are we going to really love each other for who we are between me and you? Or is it really about, okay, you can make my lifestyle much more easier, much better, just because of what you have? And it's like, dang, you don't even see me. You don't even see me. You don't see me. You don't see any of the things I'm saying, any of the things I've worked so hard for. You only just see the bag. So it's like, if you only see the bag, then what's the point of marriage? And guess what? We start fighting, start arguing. That's half my stuff gone. That's half my houses going, my cars, all that stuff going for nothing.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. My whole life savings going for nothing. For someone who didn't even take interest in me. For nothing. And to answer the first part, I do believe in it because I do have, my mom and my stepdad still together. So I absolutely do believe in it. Have I found that person? Absolutely not. Because there's way too many people selling their souls to the internet and thinking that it is okay to do so. And that's the reason why.
Okay.
But that is all I have to say.
You on fire. Hey, I will say this episode, everybody been coming out with some good takes, so I can't even be mad. Leo Renee said, to me, marriage is an important union that I want one day. I was in a 11-year relationship that didn't work. I've been single for 3 years, but I'm looking forward to getting married one day. And at the end of the day, as long as you put God first, you will be able to obtain that. Yeah, the marriage is just a piece of paper statement annoys me so much too. So many people say everything changes after marriage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you say was next, Wes? I'm sorry, brother. You said Big Moose?
Big Moose and then Yeshua.
All right,
Go
Big
ahead,
Moose.
Big Moose.
Sorry about that, my daughter.
No, you're fine.
Oh, here, I'm right here.
No, you're good.
Girl, put on Gracie's corner. I'm doing something. Here, watch Gracie and Hush. Goodness. This is what you watch.
Okay.
Quiet. Daddy's doing something.
Okay.
Sorry. My 2-year-old. Okay, girl, if you don't hush, I'm doing something. Oh, Lord. Okay. The first part of the episode, the first part of the question, I think marriage is cooked for people, especially in this generation. I was just talking to some chick the other day, even about a relationship. I was like, some of y'all don't want no nice man until it's like somebody said it's too late. Y'all don't want no nice guy. Y'all want the thugs. Y'all want the dudes that treat you like crap. Y'all want them type of dudes. And I remember some chick said, why are you so nice? What? It's like marriage is not a thing for people. I don't even think it's real nowadays. Because the type of love that I want, my grandparents had. I want that type of love. They died 3 years ago. I want that type of love that they had. They fought. They had their... What, girl? Why do you mess with me now when I'm doing something?
If you need to take a pause, we can go to other
Yes, I do, because this one here is going to make me strangle her. Leave me. What do you want? What do you want to watch?
Oh, yeah.
What?
I got you. When you ready,
Yeah, take
just
me out.
type in the
Please take
chat
me out.
and
I'll come back.
Yeah,
I'll come back.
We understand. We love the kids, man.
Yeshua, go ahead, bro.
You understand? We love the kids, man. It's all good. Yeshua, you here? All right. Yeshua is not here, so we are going to mute him. Wait.
There
he is.
Too much dip in your chip. So, good night again, everyone.
Yep.
Marriage to me comes from the basis of the Bible, where it says that a man shall leave his father and mother, cling to his wife. They will no longer be twain, but they'll be one flesh. It also says, God said that it's not good for man to be alone. So he said he'll create a helpmeet for him, one that is fit for him. So marriage is made by God. Sex is made by God. And many people think marrying is just getting with someone, but it's God who puts people together. God puts someone with you who is fit for you. And also marriage is a ministry because it helps with the kingdom of God through children, through the family structure. Man is the head, then the women, then the children. And going on to the second question from that, society in this modern era has deviated from God, deviated from the rules and laws of God. Mankind has put their own understanding over God, thinking that they know what's best, thinking that they know better than God. So therefore, they change the meaning of marriage. Marriage is now reduced to a piece of paper. Marriage is now reduced to something that the government implements, right? So therefore, people no longer value marriage because they don't see the spiritual aspect behind it. They don't see the purpose behind it for the kingdom of God. Many people just get their own desires. The Bible says that mankind get brought away by their own desires, and that desire bring forth sin. Sin bring forth death. So many people these days have the mindset that they don't need to be married because they can get everything out of marriage by just being boyfriend and girlfriend. They move in, they sleeping together, they're having children together, having the family unit. But what they don't understand is that God is not in it. They're not getting the spiritual aspect of it. So people these days, they just want to date by just doing something casual, just getting the benefits, someone to keep their company. And it's sad, really. Many people, just the way how the government has set up marriage in certain cases, it turns people off. And then because they're not even thinking about God, they're saying, well, this is it. Marriage is nothing. Marriage is worthless. I can get all I need from a woman or from a man without even putting a ring on their finger. Many people giving it up in one date. So if you're giving it up in one date and I just meet you and I buy you a drink and you give me what I want, what's marriage worth? So this society is messed up. We need to get back to God. We need to get back to the scripture and Bible. So I think that's it for me.
Okay. Shout out to Yeshua. All right. Who did we bring up first? Big Moose.
Like Shady, Blessed. It's Big Moose ready to come. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Now come on, Big Moose. If you ready to go now, go ahead.
Okay, I'm back.
Yep.
She's quiet.
Right.
Yeah. I was saying, marriage. I don't think people, like I said, won't join marriage nowadays. I don't know what it is with this generation. Like I said, I guess I was supposed to say some or most. Seems like dating is exhausting to me nowadays. I remember Kite, you said in one of the Pop the Balloons, you said people make dating overcomplicated, and it shouldn't be. It should be like, I like you, you like me, cool, date, eventually get to that point, marriage, cool, and be happy. Nah, you got to go through hoops. It just seemed like this generation, social media has messed up marriages, dating, and relationships, it seems nowadays, because people see what they see on there, these podcasts. This men should be doing this, women should be doing that, men should be acting like this. Like, it shouldn't be all that complicated. And I know, and I said I was married for a couple months for Rob. It was very split second, but just being called somebody's husband was a good feeling. And yes, I would love to be. When I think about marriage, I would love to be married again. And I know it's, like I said, everybody has their ups and downs. I know marriage ain't no gumdrops and cupcakes and ice cream all the time. You got the good, the bad, and the ugly. But like I said, y'all probably have you and Kite, y'all probably have y'all things. But like I said, y'all work it out like adults, talk it out, and keep it pushing. And y'all are teams. Some people don't want to be team. Some people don't even want to be a team when it comes to marriage. It's one person doing this and somebody else getting carried. It's like I said, marriage. I want marriage like my grandparents had. I want that type of love. But somebody said that love don't exist no more. I don't know if it is nowadays. Like I said, I don't even like, as time goes on, I'm getting older. I got 2 kids. I like to be married to somebody nowadays, but I don't know. Like I said, I probably should start reading the Bible a lot more often. I tried. I got a men's Bible that I should read. Try to go to church more, get the word. I just be feeling people, like I said, if you married nowadays, try to stay in that relationship. I'm really happy for my married couples. I do have friends that are married, and I'm happy for them that they found their person. Because hell, I can't even get dates half the days, let alone try to find somebody to marry. Like, I'm blessed to have 2 kids. I think that was, I mean, we had our ups and downs, and like I said, it was fun being married. It was awesome. A great feeling to have somebody call me their husband. Like, that was dope. That was a dope feeling. I'd love to have that again. And
you will.
Like I said I would hope so. I'll be trying to be hopeful. Like I said, I asked earlier about this. Oh,
you got to speak it into existence.
True.
That love is still out there. It's still out there.
I'll be saying that. I'll be really do. I am not mommy. I'm your daddy. Child. Lord. But yeah, that's all I got to say. Like I said, people out there trying to find love. It seems like you just need to nowadays just do your own thing, work on yourself, and love will find you. It seems like say if you try to find it, it's not going to turn out good. Right. Like I said, I seen a lot of them pop the balloons, and some people ain't just not trying to find love. I wish I was on some of them episodes. I would have found somebody easily. People are picky. I'm not that picky nowadays when it comes to find a woman. I'm really not. Yeah. Like I said, I'm probably the most easiest person to please. It's not hard. It's probably not hard.
I'm gonna have to wrap you up, brother.
All right, but that's all I had to say. Thanks for letting me talk.
Yep, no problem.
Shout out to Big Moose.
Shout out Big Moose, man. Shout out to the baby.
Yeah, for those of y'all out there that want to get married, you have to, you got to put God first in everything that you do. God is love and love is God. So when you sit and you think that your time isn't coming because you see everybody else moving on with their lives and getting married, that's what the enemy wants you to do. Don't focus on what everybody else got going on. Focus on what you need to be doing and, get your relationship right with God, because he will send you somebody in your life for you to have companionship. We weren't meant to be on this earth alone. That's why he created marriage.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, okay. Shady, then Blessed, then Miles, then Jules, and then we will move on to the next topic. So, Shady Angel.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like Alex just took my whole flow. I was gonna say that love is synonymous with God. So if you're meeting a person, you gotta check their mindset to see if they have God in their lives and if they are practical, in their daily lives and how they pursue people and how they, show you their actions. If God is present, So I was pretty much gonna go with that, but I would say for the overwhelming majority of people nowadays, like we have moved away from God, so they're putting their own selfish desires first, right? So I'm gonna put a personal example. I'm talking to this girl, and I really like her, but I'm like hesitant to, go forward, because whenever I talk to her, all I can hear is she wants a baby, right? And it's like she is, everything I would want in a woman. But just her mindset of her wanting a baby before marriage, like she doesn't talk to me about marriage. She talks to me about having a baby. And it's like, it's kind of a red flag for me, because it's like, you're supposed to want that marriage first. You're supposed to want the person first, and then
Right.
the fruits of that marriage would come. And, hopefully a child, if we're blessed, would come from that. But, and I think it's just she's reached an age where, baby fever is a thing. And so for me, like, I do want marriage and I really like this girl, but it's, I know I have to be hesitant, like men nowadays have to be hesitant because you don't know what you're dealing with. And that's one of the biggest reasons why the marriage race keeps falling further and further, because people are just doing things out of their own selfish desires. Promiscuity is a thing. The Lord says not to follow the marriage bed. But we can't even, have that conversation because, body count is such a big deal, But I do want marriage in the future, and hopefully, God can, work in both our lives, because I do like this girl. And I do see a potential future, but there's just some things that I'm just like hesitant to even propose that. My bad. But yeah. For the overwhelming majority who don't have God in their lives, it's just a selfish game, And one of the biggest examples is Shannon Sharp, man. I'm sorry I had to do it to my brother, but marriage is protection. If y'all really deep it, but that's my talk, my TED talk.
Gotcha.
Child shady.
Child shady. All right, blessed.
Good evening, everyone. So the question was, do you feel like marriage is the objective in dating today? Okay, so I'm married myself. I just want to preface, so I'm not in the dating game. Thank God. But what I see what I see from the people I know, they say like they do want to get married. And even people that they've had kids out of wedlock, and say like they're not, wanting to get married. But then I'll like ask them, well, like if their dream person proposed down, on their knee, would they say yes? And then they say that they would say yes. So I'm like, well, then you're not really like anti-marriage then, in that regard. But I feel like now individualism is like at an all-time high, and communities just like in marriage and communities just we're moving like further away from it. And I that's just what I think. And I do think someone did say this earlier, and I was thinking the same thing, that, a lot of people say, well, marriage is just a piece of paper, and framing it like that. And this reality is it's just not the true, is not the case. If it were that easy or that simple, then, people, why would they make a lot of excuses for it and being in very long-term, decades-old relationships if it's really just a piece of paper, if it's just, that simple. But to me, all in all, I do think like it is an objective that people are doing, so I can't say like it's not. But at least for me, I was definitely always an objective. I had, and then the second question, what does marriage mean to me? So marriage is a covenant between God and my spouse. And marriage is a commitment, and I believe, just like the Bible says, that iron sharpens iron, two are better than one. And marriage is family. It's where, even the Bible verse where two or more are gathered, he's in the midst of them. I think that even applies to marriage, like where two people are equally yoked, building a union, a family, a generation. And even studies show that families with a healthy married two-parent household have more emotional stability, more likely to go to college, more likely to be successful. And so even to people who already have kids or want kids but not marriage, like, to me, I have an example to say. I just saw this video today. I believe it's Coach Prime's son, Shador. Even he's an adult, and he said that he still does little things to try to get his parents to reunite and be together. And so it's so important for us to be and have that healthy example for our kids, and to be in those marriages it really makes an impact, like forever. And even the whole thing of like marriage versus kids, it's like if you have a child with somebody, you're forever tied to them. Like y'all just created a whole new generation, and that kid has kids. Y'all are the grandparents. So it's really like impactful what we're doing. And I would say that another thing, like to land my plane, is to prepare for marriage even before you become married. Understand what love is in Christ. Study the Bible, what it says about marriage and how it's supposed to be designed, and not just only hear from people on the internet, people on podcasts, even your pastor and your parents. You have to really look at your Bible and fact check everything that they're saying. And also heal from any trauma.
I'm about to cut you off here, man.
Okay.
But I appreciate you for your point.
Hold on, let her get that last little part, because I think she was reading the last little note. Go ahead and get that last little part out. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just heal from your traumas, work on yourselves, and prepare yourself and just read your Bible. That's all.
Okay, I got you, because I felt like she was coming up to the end of that, so I want to let her get it out. All right, y'all better not play with West. He on that timer now. He on that time.
I've given people well over more than enough time. So for the next set of topics from the PTB, Netflix, and everything else, as soon as it hit 2:30, I'm cutting you off. Go ahead, Jules, and then Miles, and then we move on.
Hey, we didn't have to resort to this. You people led it to this. Blame the first 10 flock talks on why we have a 2 minute and 30 second timer. Y'all created this, episodes 1 through 10. This is y'all fault.
It's all good. I mean, people making good points. I didn't let people go 2:45, 3:30, but from the next set of stuff, the 2:30, the limit. As soon as you hit that, I'm letting you know. Jules or Miles, whoever is here first, need y'all to unmute. Anybody going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay. Well,
I'll
there
go
we
there.
go. Somebody. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm ready. So here we go. Yeah, man. Marriage is beautiful. I think people want to get married. I think people want to have a happy home. They want to have a happy life. I do think the devil might work overtime to stop it. I do believe that there is I do believe that Eric Bischoff said it when I was a kid. He had a book that's called Controversy Creates Cash. So as much chaos as the devil can create, it makes money for them. So, they can't make money off marriages like that, but they can make money off them divorces. They can make money on them court cases. There's a lot of money to be made when marriages don't work. And, and I think it's not a lot of like the young people's fault. I just think minds have been warped and manipulated into thinking that it's not important. For me, man, I definitely look forward to getting married. You guys know my story. I truly believe that the reason why people don't really see the value in marriage is I don't think y'all have been hurt. I think I agree with some of the people that was speaking earlier. I just think y'all just live life as if like it's easy. And just like that, you wake up one day and you don't see anything for 6 years. And then you wonder why everything comes more clear in the world. And I was fortunate enough to have one of the most beautiful dark-skinned sisters I ever met in my life still want me when I was nothing more than a piece of chewed up bubblegum that you would just spit out your mouth and keep on going about your day. And she got me back up to being the man I always was. When I was strong and tall, she stayed with me. When I was down, she stayed with me. And I'm back up and she's still with me. Checking her blood type to see if she can give me a kidney because I have kidney failure. She's not compatible with me kidney-wise, but she tried though.
Right.
Little things like that. That's real love. That she really cared for my life. And I understand what it means to really have someone. And I feel sorry for you guys that I don't want you to get hurt. But I think some of y'all need to see what it's like to be in a situation where you can die just like that. And then you see what really matters in your life. And then you get a second chance to live. And then you know it really is important. Now you know it's important in your life when things go bad. It's easy to think you got everything planned when everything's up. But when things are down, then you see what you really got in your corner. And I had brain surgery, which caused my blindness to happen. And knowing that I almost died on that chair, on that slab, but they did my surgery, and I ended up waking up 3 days later and survived. And she was right there in my corner the whole time, sleeping in the chair the whole time, and they said she ain't left your side.
That's real love.
It is, man. And I hope, when I get my health better and I, return to her, I can marry her and live happily ever after. And so I just want y'all to know, man, love is real, marriage is real. And as far as Pop the Balloon, real quick, I'll just say, I just think the behind the scenes got to do a good job of getting the right people on the show that really want to find love. That's really what it is, really. It's just they get the wrong people sometimes, and when they get the right people, you see what happens. They make results. So it's really just about the roster process as far as Pop the Balloon. Get the right people on the show and then marriage will happen. But yeah, man, I just encourage you guys, man, to just sometimes close your eyes and find what's really important in your life. And you really understand what you really got in the world if you just slow down and really look and see what really is important. It's the small things, all things. That's it.
All right.
Shout out to Miles, man.
Shout out to Miles. Jules, you here? Close us off, please. Thank you.
Alrighty. Basically what I wanted to say was I kind of wanted to piggyback off of what Leah said in the YouTube chat, because I was watching a podcast recently where it was like a live version of a podcast. And shout out to Lady Vivian Jacobs and Bishop Brandon Jacobs from New Zion Temple Church. I was watching their podcast and they had and their thing was they were talking about when they got married, Bishop Jacobs literally had to ask himself, did I make the right decision? And I think nowadays in today's society, we don't ask that. We really don't ask that type of question. Did I make the right decision on who I married? Or did I make the right decision? Am I making the right decision? Let me rephrase. Am I making the right decision on who I'm dating right now? Is this person really for me? Is this person going to be a ride or die? Is this person really going to have my back when the chips, what am I about to say? When basically stuff hits the fan, is that person going to be my ride or die? Is that person going to have my back? Is that person not going to leave me when the chips are down, basically? And the reason why I say that is these are the questions nowadays society doesn't want to ask. How do I know that? Because you look at the culture now, the dating culture. It is cooked. It sucks. People don't want relationships. They want one night stands. And that's a problem.
Shout out to Jules.
That's a fact. So we about to get into it.
All right.
How was y'all feeling about this week's episode? First and foremost, how was Kite and Alex feeling about this week's episode?
So, this week of Pop the Balloon Live, very, if I had to compare episode 1 to episode 3, I would say that episode 1 was made by the people that did BET back in 2004 when they were trying to take over the world and kill the black culture. That's who I would say made episode 1. Episode 3, apparently somebody walked into the boardroom meeting, put a sack over all their heads and threw them in a closet and said, all right, let's try to salvage anything that we can to actually make this something worth watching. And they did a very good job. This episode was enjoyable. This episode was actually something that had some type of substance. I'm glad the direction that they're taking it. I'm glad that they took the harsh feedback and harsh criticism that they received. It's unfortunate that if they would have just did it right from episode 1, they would have more of a buzz or traction around episodes 2, 3, 4, and etc. But it goes into show, sometimes, you know, there's multiple innings in a game, but sometimes that first inning does matter. Sometimes it does matter that you don't strike out your first time batting, because it lays an influence on what people expect from you. But this episode, it was very cool. One of the matches did unfortunately feel like it wasn't a match based off of based off of true attraction. It felt like more of a match based off of, I guess we have the same job, so I guess we'll work out. I did like the changes that they are making to it, and overall, I did enjoy the Pop the Balloon episode. So that is my take. I already put my YouTube review out there for people that haven't seen. The review is out. We do it every day after the episode. So that is my view of Pop the Balloon Netflix. Alex, how did you feel about Pop the Balloon Netflix?
It was chill. It was way better than the first one. Next time I'd rather they come prepared with their questions instead of just sitting there kind of like, I don't know how to frame this question or ask it. Yeah, all the guys came dressed really nice. All the ladies dressed really nice. The princess treatment really threw me off because y'all are too old to be demanding anything in regards to princess treatment. It gives a certain level of entitlement. It's one thing when you want to be treated and valued and appreciated and all that kind of stuff and wined and dined, but that princess treatment crap, that gotta go.
Okay.
And that, I give the episode 6.
Wes, how did you feel about Pop the Balloon live? If you watched it, did you watch it, brother?
You wasn't here.
I did not watch it, but based off everything that y'all told me, like after the event was over, it seems like the right people got in the boardroom and are making the decisions now. So I am happy for that. With a rough start like that and how strict Netflix is, I don't know if this will get a season 2 out of this, but maybe there is, an argument to be made that it will continue past the initial hiccups because of the fact that the YouTube Pop the Balloon is so popular. Like maybe they'll argue like, this will eventually turn around in terms of monetary gain because of the fact that the YouTube Pop the Balloon will keep getting traction until, there's a new trend that pops up. But for the time being, Pop the Balloon is all the rage within the community and it will continue to do so. So maybe, after the initial hiccup, and if they continue like kind of the energy they have from this episode forward, there will be a, more than like, I think they scheduled like 7 or 8 episodes. So maybe it'll be more than that after.
Okay.
If they continue.
All right, y'all. How did you guys feel about this week's Pop the Balloon episode? I will stress this. Keep it on topic to the Pop the Balloon Netflix live. We have more topics we need to get to. So if you start treading off into your own personal view of life and, the chakras and all that other stuff, like, hey, gang, we just gonna move you down. We're strictly talking about Pop the Balloon live. All right?
And you got 2 minutes and 30 seconds to make your point.
Go ahead, Jules.
I feel like out of all the episodes we've seen thus far, I feel like this was probably the best one. Although I do agree with Alex, I think the princess treatment comment was a little unnecessary, especially since the woman was in her 30s. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like 30. Yeah, once you hit your 30s, I feel like you should nip the whole princess treatment thing in the butt. That's just my personal opinion. I mean, when you're like in your early 20s, like teen years, in your 20s, like early 20s, cool, I guess. But I feel like once you hit 25 and up, it sounds like, that's what I'm looking for. Entitlement. Yes, entitlement. But like I said, overall, this was their best episode. That's really about it.
All right. Chris, how did you feel about Pop the Balloon Netflix?
Same as always, woke. It's still woke, man. It's just too woke. But as far as the woman saying princess treatment, once again, man, it's all the Simpson beta males that she's dealing with. So until we as men collectively stop trying to simp and do all this do all this go out of the way for the women, guess what? She's going to think like that. So that won't stop until we stop that behavior ourselves as men. Really, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But yeah.
No, I mean, the princess treatment got to come from somebody. So I get what he's saying. He's not wrong. All right. Miles, how did you feel about Pop the Balloon Netflix this week?
Man, you know what, man? My stock is just up, man. My stock is up. I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know. Like it just happened that way. You know, invest in me. Invest in me. And I'm not a prophet. I'm not doing that, but invest in my stock, okay? I said a couple episodes ago, I said, y'all just give it time and just let it, and then they're gonna learn from their mistakes and things will get better. Like most shows do, that's what happens. Most shows, your favorite shows weren't the best when they first started on their pilots, but as time went on, shows get better. That's how it works. Okay, just let it marinate, give it time. You know, about the balloon, all of them, that's how it is. You know, so I was right again. I want my flowers. I want them. I really want them. Acknowledge it. As far as the actual contestants, they were better. I truly believe that just me, like watching reality TV, knowing people who are in reality TV, it's hard just for me to believe still because of the acting aspect of it. You know, hey, like I know how it goes. Let's pretend to be a couple for a little while for the show. We pump fake for the show, and then really we just doing this just to, you know, add on to our resume for what we did. We're not really in a relationship. We're gonna put a pump fake on for everybody else to show that we're doing it. They paying us on the side to be nice and cool. You know, that's the vibe I get with this show. That I don't buy into it. You know, actors I've seen constantly on other shows the same way as Pop the Balloon. It's like it's just fake to me. You know, entertaining, sure, but as far as reality, I'm just not buying the actual relationship part of it. That's the only problem I have with Pop the Balloon. It just maybe they need to get regular people instead of like having people that look good. Because they all look good on the show. I'm like, okay, maybe y'all should get some regular truck drivers and people with some bellies or something. You know, just get some, you know, just get some real people instead of everybody look like an IG model. I'm like, that it rubs me the wrong way. And because I know all of them got relationships before they got on the show. I know you can't look like that and ain't got somebody. I'm just keeping it real. Like I know they got somebody. They all got somebody. If Chris could say he got 5 girls in one day, I know they got somebody. I know they got somebody. So yeah, so I just want to throw that out there. Great show, quality's good, but I just feel that the relationship part is not genuine.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty then. Let's move on to the next topic. So thus, I invited him to speak. That is not what I was trying to do. So I mean, it is what it is on that one. Now the people that have the topics, Alex, I will throw it into your hands because I don't have the topics on my screen. While she's getting the topics, I just want everybody to make sure that you're drinking water. Read your Bible every day. Stretch. There's a pet that you have in your house right now that you haven't interacted with in over 2 days. Stop doing that. Go say hi to your pet. Your neighbor outside that you swear up and down is trying to get rid of you is not really trying to get rid of you. You might just be schizophrenic. Kobe Bryant is still the best Laker of all times, and it's not a debate. Unfortunately, I can't play it because the music involved with it, but you guys can still watch the clip and see what's happening. Usher is performing one of his songs that he does where he normally walks up to a woman. Sometimes he makes them eat grape seductively, like eat grapes out of his hands and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a very common thing with Usher. I don't know why he keeps going to women who are in relationships. I think he has an agenda for it. But
I don't know why men keep taking their women to go see him. Why are you taking them?
Well, I don't even think, and
that's his shtick.
If this is all true, that like she seemed like she went to this concert of her own
homegirls.
The way the caption reads said, it's been reported that a 45-year-old man has filed for divorce from his wife after she allowed Grammy-winning singer Usher Raymond to seduce her on stage. The husband claims the woman has never kissed him in public, and he was shocked that she could come close to a complete stranger in the presence of 20,000 people. It was reported a man has filed for divorce after a viral moment at an Usher concert turned into a breaking point in his marriage. According to the court documents, the filed in
Fulton County
last week. Marcus Delaney is seeking to end his 2-year marriage to wife Tasha Delaney, citing irreconcilable differences stemming from an incident at Usher's Las Vegas residency show on March 23rd. Marcus told the Journal Constitution it was humiliating that wasn't just a concert moment, crossed the line. Tasha, meanwhile, has called the incident innocent fun, and she said she was blindsided by the divorce filing. Usher's representatives declined. Yeah, because I could barely read that.
I'm sorry.
Declined to comment. This isn't the first time at an Usher concert that stirred headlines in 2023. Yeah, we don't care about Keke Palmer and what she got going on. So basically, long story short, this is another instance of Usher doing something to a woman who, I mean, he don't really care about what she got going on. He doing it, and that woman is getting her fantasy fulfilled. And yeah, the husband is like, nah, I don't really rock with that. The whole notion of just like celebrity crushes and stuff in general at this big age is just like wow, because basically all the celebrity crush means is that if the right person come up to you, you're gonna be willing to go. And I would say more, but this is YouTube.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm not even gonna hear you out on this one, bro.
I don't agree with it either.
Yeah, this guy is insecure. I don't even want to hear that, bro. I'm actually gonna ban you from speaking on this topic now, just because of that statement. So you are not allowed to comment on this topic. Thank you for your input. But yeah, like this is that. I'm tired. I'm tired.
Because she's saying it's innocent fun, but let the tables be turned and let it be her husband at a y'all all seen that part on BET where Destiny's Child was dancing on all the men. Now let that be her husband getting danced on by Beyonce. It's innocent fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's blatant disrespect.
How did Chris catch it straight like that?
Because I'm talking about this, and then that dude is insecure. It's like, bro, cut it out, man.
You should have chose a woman that was secure about him.
Yeah, it's like I can't listen to that again, bro. I can't. Like this, it'd be too much for me, bro. It's like you're not about to I don't care how secure you are with your woman in your marriage, you're not about to let your wife go to a concert and get a grape put in her mouth. Usher finna be all up on your lady. It don't matter if you're the only one laying down with her at night. That's just, I don't want to hear that, bruh. Nobody has that much confidence in the world, man. I can't listen to it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm not. It doesn't matter if she's coming home to you if she took some, on the way home to you, bro. Let's be for real here, man. I don't want to hear that, bro. A woman could come home to a man and still have gotten, a sausage on the way back home, bro. Like, let's be for real, man. Like, it's just, I don't want to hear that. People are foul. Celebrity crushes at this big age is no.
I'm gonna keep it a band, right? If I'm gonna use my own marriage as an example. If Alex would never do this, because one, Alex don't like people. But say for instance, we lived in an alternate universe where Alex was this obsessive over Usher. The way that this lady was looking at Usher's eyes and basically like falling into his arms and breathing heavy, and you can clearly tell like when she got to the table, she knew what she did. She had that look of like, oop, I hope like I didn't do too much. If you ever let a person get that close to you, to your face, and then we find out in details that the husband says, this is the same woman that doesn't even allow him to kiss her in public, and that's her husband, but you don't like public affection, but you have no problem letting this celebrity that sleeps with more women than we can count dollar bills in a day. Get all up in her face and whisper and put grapes in her mouth and get her breathing all extra hard and all that. Hey, bro, go home with Usher, gang. It's cool. Go home with Usher.
Literally.
I'm not finna fight you over it. Go home with Usher. I'll have the paperwork fulfilled, because clearly you were operating in lust. Also, you not only did you idolize this man, but you violated, you disrespected me in front of everybody, and then you had the audacity
of your marriage.
Yep, you had the audacity. People think that cheating is always only the physical action of it. Emotional cheating, spiritual cheating, all that cheating. There's so many forms of it, bro, and you don't have to tolerate any of it. Look at the lady as she's doing this. Look, let's keep it real. We calling this man insecure. Look at his wife.
Look at this. Look at that, man.
Look at his
man,
wife.
Cut it out, bro.
Cut it out, man.
He could have whispered in her ear, "Come backstage and I'll make all your dreams come true." And guess where she would have been going, bro? Husband at home, making dinner, chilling, whatever the case may be. He on a game right now, and his wife is being sensually looked at by Ushering.
Look at her body movements.
Like, look at the freaky frog rubbing up against a pole. That's the only thing stopping her. Like, I don't want to hear that, bro.
If Usher, look, she's going in for the kiss. Usher backed away.
Yeah, because he's not supposed to do that.
Look,
the freaky frog is crazy.
Come on now, bro. We can't call the husband. We can't call the husband insecure for this, bro. Look at this.
Bro, freak.
Nobody asked her to do this either. Not.
Y'all are so lucky that you can't get my raw, unfiltered opinion, bro. Because
and she paid for a VIP spot.
Look at what she's doing to the cherries.
That's a VIP spot. He only interacts with VIP.
Yeah, bro.
She paid for that. She knows what he does at the show.
Y'all are so lucky that this is Kite and Alex platform, and they don't promote me saying what I could really say, bro. Because y'all don't want to hear what I really got to say, bro, with no filter. This is blasphemy. That's all I'm. This is blasphemy. This is crazy. You could be the most secure person in the world, and you would not stand for this, bro.
Valencia said, "Wait, this lady did an interview and she wasn't married. The internet made that up." Okay, cool. If this is fake, then that's fine. But right now, for the sake of Flock Talk, we are going to say this is the scenario of a wife doing this, because this is not the first time Usher has done this to somebody on stage. It's not the first time. A lot of these dancers and these singers do this to people's partners on stage, right? So, okay, Jules, what is the topic that you wanted to put, or do you just want people to speak overall of how they feel about what is happening?
Well, remember a couple of Flock Talks ago where I brought up the whole Taylor Swift situation, and we had the whole conversation about celebrity idolizing and how it's gone to, well, this extent? Yeah, basically, the reason why I chose this topic in particular, because, well, one, I wanted to hear everyone else's whole thoughts on the situation. But now that we know that the woman wasn't married, and we got context on that, because when I initially saw the post, I thought she was married as well, judging by the headlines. But now that we all got context that the woman isn't married, this is why celebrity idolization needs to stop, because the Bible talks about how we shouldn't idolize anyone else before God. Am I right or am I right?
No, you're right. I'm just looking at these comments. This is why relationships don't last. Like I'm about to segue, because like this is what I be getting mad about on the internet, and this is why like it sucks for me being a YouTuber, because truthfully, if I had the power, I would just let West say whatever he felt like saying, because even just reading these comments, this is why dating is where it's at. Somebody said Usher is married to.
You just hit the nail on the head.
Usher is married to. That man who divorced her was looking for a reason. This is, bro, two wrongs don't make a right. And the fact that you feel like just because one married man is his partner has no problem with him being all up in women, being sensual in their faces and stuff, just because she gets paid and she gets the benefit off the millions he makes and she wants to stay silent, does not mean that everybody on earth is insecure or lacking in their marriage because they don't want that. Bro, I wish I would walk outside and see Alex eating cherries out of some dude's hand. Bro, everybody in that vicinity is dying. And that's just how it is. It's not me being insecure.
Oh,
it's you violated my oath. You broke the oath. That's how, if you're willing to do this, this is how you view me. So you don't respect me. All right, then let's take it there then. You get me? Let's keep it real. Back in the days of Moses, I'd be able to throw a rock at you. I'd be able to stone you. Keep it a band, right? He was looking for an excuse. A married woman should not be doing this at all. Exactly. I mean, it was part of the show. They both just went home to their spouse. It don't matter if Chippendale is on stage. It don't matter. You shouldn't be there in the first place. But the fact that you're there, okay, you're already there wrongly because you know what you're going to see. But then you get up and you want to be a part of it. You're the problem. Shout out to South Africa.
You can just like not even like, all right, now we know that this is a story perpetuated to get people up in arms, yada yada yada. We could use something that's real. Look at Chris Brown. Y'all know what go on at them Chris Brown concerts. You could pay that man any amount of money or however much money, and you could do any pose with him. He'll put his hand on it, on the booty. He'll, hand on the titties, whatever. He could be all up on you. You could be all up on him, all type of stuff. And people love Chris Brown, right? Like they idolize him. It'd be women in relationships, women not in relationships. Yeah, exactly. Them Chris Brown meetups are crazy. You could just look at some of the pictures from that. It's a meme at this point. Like she don't even got to be married in this. It's just like you thirsting. If I was a prospective partner, and this was a girl I was talking to, or maybe this is a girl that I was interested in, and I just seen her acting like this on this Instagram reel, I'm not gonna want to mess with her no more. Like what? Come on, man. Y'all gotta be for real, bro. I know y'all don't believe this.
So y'all are against actors? Hey, you can be an actor all you want. Now my thing is this: if your job, if Alex was an actress, and one of her scenes was she had to kiss a guy on set. It was like climax of the movie. She had to kiss somebody on set. That's one thing, because now we know, one, you're doing your job. Two, you both do not have genuine feelings in this. And that's acting. There's a difference between.
Can I cut you off on that part? They do. I just wanted to say, because you brought up a really good point about, one of your example that you just mentioned. I just want to say that they have intimacy coordinators for a reason.
Exactly. Yep. But
proceed.
Yeah. So 2 actors on stage doing their job, that's one thing. But it's a different thing when you are not an actor, you are just a fan. You're just a spectator. You are not getting paid to do this. You are there for your own joy and pleasure. And then a dude come up and start making out with you. No, you're cheating. You're not working. There's no script. There's no dialogue. You had the choice, the free will to not do this. There's a very fine difference. Does God compromise his morals for actors? Like, will he say it's your job kissing me or rubbing? So here's the counter argument to there are plenty of actors that will not do intimate scenes, and they will easily have extras, or they do this method where they take tape and they put the tape over their lips and they do it like that. So it's like, it depends on what you see. No, I don't feel like God sees it as any different, but there's so many alternative ways of them doing that to convey or turn it away so that it's not actual. Just like there's certain cuts when they do kissing scenes, they do a back shot of the person's head. You get what I'm saying? So let's not pretend like every actor that does a kissing scene immediately is on camera tongue deep in somebody's throat. Come on now, let's not do that. And plus with the way AI and stuff is, you can animate somebody in a makeout scene without having to actually do the kissing at all. So let's keep it, man. All right, we're gonna start bringing people up. Chris, I was gonna bring you up, but apparently you've been banned for this subject. So I will respect the ban, unfortunately. All right. Don't at me. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, appreciate you guys bringing me up. I'll keep it simple, short, and sweet. Give everybody a chance to speak. Yeah, I completely agree with everything you guys said. I think it was Alex brought up a really good point, or West brought up a really good point also about Chris Brown. You know, women paying for this. Hypothetically, if she was married, I would be very upset if she did this because you paid for this experience. And it looks like she's living out some sort of fantasy right now. So I would completely understand what the husband felt at that moment, and I think he would be justified for a divorce. That's just my simple take. That's all I had.
No, you got it. Shout out to
Appreciate
Don't
you,
At Me.
boss.
All right, Armed Swordsman, go ahead.
Yeah. Honestly, this topic again, because this is something that has been happening a lot apparently recently, where it's not even about Usher, it's about quite a lot of celebrities, right? So in Jamaica, we have a singer named Dexter Laps, right? And there's a running joke, you can call it, in Jamaica, where you say, yo, if you have a girl, don't bring her go on Dexter Laps concert, right? But it's the thing is, like, I cannot understand how a lot of these women like don't respect them relationship enough to not do these type of things. There is another big thing where a girl who but she loved this singer, a Nigerian singer, I think his name is Omale, and he brought her there for her birthday or something like that. And she got on stage and was dancing.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Right. And dude just left the concert. And the internet got on him about leaving the concert, about him leaving girlfriend, and she's not safe. And I'm like, bro, a matter of fact, when she came home, she probably wouldn't even have seen me there because I'd have packed up my things and left. Or ship her somewhere and she can't go in. Because that's crazy. How do you not value? This goes back to what we were talking about before. People don't value their relationships, much less toward marriage. Because this is a crazy thing. Regardless of not whether she's actually married now or whether she is. Because as Wes said, if this is somebody I'm thinking about pursuing and I see this, like that's a complete turn off. Well, at least it should be. It's a complete turn off. Like, this makes no sense. Any man that values himself and is in that situation will leave, and I don't care about any simping, any insecure, any of those talks. If you value yourself and you're put in a situation like this, you have to value yourself enough to leave. Proverbs 31, part of it is that the man is respected at the gates. How can I be respected if everybody sees my wife do some foolishness like this? It's crazy.
Nah, look at the Chris Brown. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like,
yes, he don't do that because he find them attractive. He do that because they pay him to do that. That's what I'm saying. That level of thirst is insane.
And sometimes it goes beyond entertainment.
And some of these, here's the crazy part. Some of these women will take these pictures with these celebrities and won't even take it with their spouse of 15 years. This is crazy. Nope. Nah, bro. I'm sorry. He's right to divorce this woman. All right. Shout out Armed Swordsman, man. Will Too Humble. Go ahead, big dog. Then we'll have Stepper, then Miles, then Big Moose.
All right. Okay. So, just based off of this, what do I think about? Yeah, modern day society. That's what I think about when I look at this. Nothing new, same thing, different day, just because of someone being a big star, of, being in the music industry, sometimes cameos in movies, TV shows, whatever have you. It's like, this was absolutely expected. Don't know why she even is there, don't know why, like, you are in a relationship. It's just like, come on, you should know better. You're grown enough. Don't know why you're there, but there's reasons why. You see somebody who you have a crush on. To be honest, you having a crush on somebody, absolutely insanity. You're over the age of, you shouldn't even have a crush. Just saying, that's just my opinion. But when it comes to things like this, it is absolutely messy. Not only is messy, but you're inspiring millions of other people, whether it's a guy or a girl, to do the same exact thing with their crushes. And then guess what? We're gonna start simping, then we start become something else, which is not great for the community or society in general. And guess what? We constantly keep on rinsing and repeating. But hey, I don't know nothing. But that's all I have to say.
Hey, shout out Will Too Humble, cooking.
Appreciate you.
Nah, that I'm keeping it stacked. Even like they're talking about in the chat right now, bringing up how Michael Jackson used to just stand on stage and he would have women and men falling out, passing out because they loved him that much. I'm gonna keep it,
bro. They was dying, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a stack.
Women was dying.
If I was at a Michael Jackson concert with my girlfriend and Michael Jackson hit the stage and she screamed and cried and passed out, she leaving by herself. Because it's like, bro, I don't care who it is. You better not love somebody. If you love this dude this much and he don't even know you, and I had to take you to 3 dates just to get a hug, but Michael Jackson can make you go to an ambulance just by staring in your direction? Bro, go ahead, bro. You got it. Go ahead. Let Michael pick you, bro. Leave with Michael. Go ahead.
You're insecure.
I guess so. Shoot, I'll be that.
Yep.
I'll be insecure with a woman who ain't gonna pass out to Michael Jackson. That's what I'll be. Go ahead.
Hey, bro.
Let Michael
a
get
fella
you right.
like me, man, you know, she can fall and pass out, but she coming home to me at the end of the night, bro. So, you know, that don't bother me. I'm good in the hood, you know, for real.
Shout
I'm
out.
straight.
Let's go, Stepper.
Man, honestly, I mean, so I'll be upset too if my girl's going to a Chris Brown gathering and letting Chris Brown do all types of crazy things during the gathering photo. Shit, I'll be mad too.
Imagine you the one that paid for it, but you didn't know till she got there.
I mean, imagine me paying for. I mean, how about if I didn't pay for it? Well, would that be a difference? Would that be a difference?
It wouldn't.
Or if my girl go to a Dexter Daps concert and have Dexter Daps do all types of things to her on the stage, then yeah, I would just walk away. To be honest, I'll go home. I'll take her stuff and throw it out the window. I'm sorry.
Chris, I think you're having a disconnect with the conversation because I don't think you're seeing the point that people are making. Because if you think it's not about people being celebrities, at the end of the day, people are human beings in general. And the problem is, even if they are celebrity status, if your partner is lusting over a individual this much that they react this way, there is an obvious problem there. It doesn't matter if they're a celebrity or not. That's like those dudes.
Celebrity's not the problem.
Yeah, it's your partner's behavior. And my thing is, there's plenty of cases of women who have been loyal to their men, all this, then they see something that they haven't seen before and they react that way. Or men, every man saying like, oh yeah, that's my girl, that's my ride or die. Then they see that one OnlyFans model in their gym, and the next thing you know, they slip up. You get what I'm saying? I get what you're coming from, but this woman says she don't even kiss her husband in public, meaning she has never liked her man from the beginning. No, because that doesn't mean anything. It could be that she was a person who said, like for instance, Alex does not kiss me in public. Alex hates public. She hates PDA.
It's disrespectful. It's rude. Do that stuff in your own home.
Hey, I mean, honestly, if a girl. If a girl can let their boyfriend go to a Spice concert or an Ice Spice concert or a Jay Aquino concert and let them work on them,
hey, that's vice versa. I mean,
I feel like
so that's a different story.
that's the same thing. No, Stepper, that's a good point.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, if
Vice versa.
if I went to a concert and the chick started throwing it back on me in front of Alex and I don't push her away or move, if Alex put a bullet through my skull, then it's rightfully justified. I deserve it. And let God
There's
judge
no
me
shells
for
on
it.
you. That's crazy.
You said what, Alex?
I'm not wasting shells on you. That's
He ain't
crazy.
wasting
That's
no
crazy.
shells on you.
That's crazy.
Oh man,
I'm not even worth shells. I'm playing. But yeah, I get it. Shout out to Stepper, man. I'm sorry I talked over your point, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you, Stepper.
Nah, it's all good, bro. I was actually agreeing with you.
Sure.
To be honest with you, never get mad at my women, huh? To be honest with you, never get mad at my woman in those situations. What for what? I don't.
You have to.
Yeah, retype that.
I mean, the thing is, because celebrities. There is no difference between me and a celebrity. The only difference between me and somebody with the title celebrity is that they get paid more for the talent that they have than I do. Other than that, they are a human being. They bleed. They use the bathroom. They have family members. They get inconvenienced. They go through spells where they're sad, happy, or mad, experience emotions just like me. There is no difference between me and this person who is being idolized by the general public. And that's something that people got to understand.
That is the difference.
But that's what I'm saying.
Just that right there.
Yeah, just that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the money they get paid for the talent that they have, there is no difference between me and this person.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think it was Miles next. Miles, go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I agree with y'all, man. Once you get after 15, it's time to cut out the worshiping celebrities. You know what I mean? We all had that idol that we worship, but it's after a while, you can't do that. You can't be doing that. After a while, you got to grow up. Great topic, man. I agree with everybody so far. It's definitely wrong. I don't necessarily agree with it. It's almost like, these people kind of play deal or no deal with their marriage. You remember the game Deal or No Deal? Where you got to settle for certain money, but then you try to win more money, and then you try to keep winning, and up you lose, and then now you're down to next to nothing. And it's sometimes you got to know when to, know when to roll, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to run away, and know when to run. You really just gotta know when to say enough is enough. Yeah, that might have been my idol as a kid. This would be my lifelong dream, but let it go. It's like let it. Is it worth it? Now I know some people who are 90 years old, long, lasting couples that had their mishaps back in the day like that too, and still kept the relationship going. Because they didn't have to worry about the world knowing what happened. They let it go. In the James Brown era, in the Sugar Ray Robinson era, in the Temptation era. I actually have people in my life that I know personally who did stupid stuff like that and wanted to mess with David Ruffin, knowing they got a man. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
And and the man didn't like it, but they let it go. Then the man messed up. Kind of like some get back. They still stayed together till death do us part. Let it go. They both made a mistake and kept moving forward. Will that happen here? Who knows? With the internet and the whole public perception now, it's tough because people move out of different countries just by getting beat up on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough these days when your people's is blasted on the internet like that for public embarrassment. So I mean, if anybody does it in your family or in your life, bye Felicia. X marks the spot. Go find somebody else and be done with it. And I tried to tell Chris too before this thing started. I told him, I was like, bro, don't do it. Just let it go. Just don't talk. Don't do it. I tell you, it's in the comments, please don't do it. And he went and did it anyway. It's like he gonna listen to me one day though. He gonna listen to me one day, but he'll learn. He'll learn from the old man. He'll learn from the old man. So yeah, even though he's older than me, but he'll learn from me though. I'm more wiser than him. He'll learn one day. We'll pray for him. We're gonna pray for him now. We're gonna put the hand on him and give him the blessing like he always tried to give me. So let's bless him, and all of his praise, and we make sure that he gets good positive vibes coming his way. Bless you, Chris.
It's
he
like
did that knowing full well he not coming up here.
I know. I'm a petty dude.
You're so
You
bad.
do that.
You just because just because he did that, I'll bring Chris up here just because you thought you could get away with that. Like, that's the crazy
It'll have
part.
to be on the next topic. It'll have to be on the next topic, bro.
All right, Big Moose, go ahead, man. Then Nitro, and then Universal Man, and then we'll move on to the next topic. I know we joking a lot. I gotta unserve and mute Big Moose. Big Moose.
Yo, yeah, the whole celebrity thing, probably back in the day, was a little different. I didn't know people was. I was like, I seen Michael Jackson. People over having heart attacks over Michael. I said, I'm not having a heart attack over Michael Jackson over here having cold sweats like y'all. Then the Chris Brown stuff. Yeah, people paying $1,500 for what?
That's your rent.
That's rent in this. I can do with $1,500? And then the fact, like the picture that I showed, that's some diabolicalness. You know what I can do with $1,500? These people be definitely risking, like old boy said, they definitely be risking their marriages, relationships over you too dang old to be having a celebrity crush. That's great, have a crush, but if you go see him on your own accord, like I'll go pay for it myself. Or I saw a meme where he's like, I'm not going to I ain't paying for the Chris Brown concert or something like that. And his girl was like, she was taking pictures of all the stuff they can sell to go to the concert. I'm like, it's not that deep. No, that would be disrespectful. That's like, I guess it's double standards. Because if I were, let's say I wanted to go see Ice Spice and get twerked on, I'm probably gonna get broken up. Oh, you cheated on me with Ice Spice and all this other shenanigans. That should be the same way with the Chris Brown thing. But we live in a different day and age. I don't have a celebrity crush. Like, I mean, even if I did,
no girlfriend. Ice Spice can twerk on me, man.
Hey, man. hey, look at the camera. Stop it. Stop it.
Hey, man.
I'm gonna slap your do-rag off. You stop it.
Hey,
you
man.
know better than that.
Hey, man, I couldn't. Nope. Straight shenanigans. It's just people idolize celebrities that they wouldn't even. The world is a different place nowadays.
Oh yeah, if we brung one of them if we brung back one of the disciples to this day and age, they would probably man, boy, we would be all getting hit with rocks, man. It would burn, man.
We getting hit, not rocks. We about to get burned, stoned hard. I'm about to get hit. People get hit with boulders, lightning. I don't know. Thor gonna come down. Moses gonna. I don't know. Something gonna happen because today is the people today with I can't even talk. The day and age we live in. Like old boy said, you gotta know your partner's limits, and I don't think people be testing the waters with their relationships with this celebrity stuff. Go ahead and test it if you want to. You can be testing it by yourself. That's straight shenanigans. That's
shout out Big Moose.
That's it for me on that one. Shenanigans.
Shout out Big Moose. All right. Nitro and then Universal.
Yo.
All
I'm gonna say is that it could be me, bruh. It could be me, bruh. They don't want to be saved, bruh. That's what J. Cole said, right? They don't want to be saved. Yeah. Yeah. Like, have I seen this, got a whiff of this through my ear or something? Like, I know I said whiff through the ear. Yeah, you got what I'm saying. We not arguing. That's too much energy. We not fighting. You know, we just put up two of them peace signs, deuces. And she's like, why you doing them deuces for? Where you going? Nah, I might even tell you where I'm going. I'm gone. My nickname used to be Ghost and Ninja because people ain't seen me. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl would have been like, "Hey, where you going?" I'm like, "Yo, don't worry about that."
He said, "Not here. That's where I'm going."
Yeah. My spirit needs to be protected. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That different. Right. I already got my own struggles. I don't need to be seeing what you're doing in front of the camera, in front of the world. And what are you doing behind closed doors when I'm not around? You were never for me. You were for the, yeah. Let me just keep it right there.
All right. Shout out Nitro.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, Universal. Wrap it up for this topic, big brother. How you feel about the celebrity crush situation? Is this man wrong for divorcing his wife over this? How you feel
in this scenario?
in this scenario?
Yeah, in this scenario.
Yeah, good night. Y'all could hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I could understand how people could how the man could be angry and how and people could be upset. But when I look at this situation, I'm seeing the woman in front of a crowd of 20,000 persons, and this is a celebrity, someone who she idolizes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that when you're in a crowd, there's a huge pressure on you to kind of manifest what that crowd wants you to do. So most of the times you of yourself, you are so high with adrenaline in your mind that you're not really doing what you do is not your will. What you do is really what the crowd wants you to do. So but I know that the Christ said that whoever looks at somebody has to have X for them has already committed adultery in their hearts. But when I look at the situation, to me, the woman is not even in her right mind. She is not in full control of her faculties because, one, this is someone who she idolizes. And I heard someone say that, well, you're a big person now, you're not 80 years old, so you could grow out of that. But you cannot grow out of something that you idolize just like that. It's not like you idolize somebody one day and then the next day, but you stop. It doesn't happen like that. But that's a process in and of itself. So to say that she's a big woman and she could grow out of it, to me is to trivialize what idolize mean. Right? So I see it, and so to me the real big question is this an isolated incident, or is this a pattern of behavior that I have seen, and I have seen her going down this course, and now I could say, well, with this now, all right, I had enough, but if this is an isolated incident, and even if, as I hear a person saying that, well, she never showed me no emotion, and then all of a sudden, I never see this side to her. But really, this lady might not be in her right mind. This might not be her personality, because your personality is actually the average of how you would respond given like 20 situations. Your personality isn't how you respond one time. Your personality is given, if you in that situation 20 times, how would you respond on the average? So your personality to me is an average. So to me, that doesn't really cut it. To me, I find that the whole take that the group chat made, that no one at all spoke up for the lady at all, I found it was a bit extreme. If it wasn't, if it was indeed an isolated incident, although I recognize that the whole scenario was fabricated, and she wasn't a married woman to begin with.
Right.
Yeah. So that is how I say. I it shouldn't be a case that for someone who idolizes someone in an isolated incident, and it's not even adult. Well, it's not adultery because to me they're not in the full senses. If this was a normal person, and a normal man could feed her grapes in a right mind, then I see that as just one incident alone is enough to warrant, hey, this could make you question about whether this person loves you. But to me, in that situation, when she's not even, more than likely not in her right mind, I feel is it's not so much that the man insecure, but he taking things out of proportion. Yeah, so that's my take on it.
Okay, that's fair. Shout out Universal.
Okay.
All right, Key.
Oh, hey. I don't know. I just think of it as relating to like access and opportunity, like would she normally have access to this person and the opportunity to do this? I mean, again, if they're acting disrespectful, I'm not condoning the disrespect. You definitely need to have boundaries and respect within your relationship. And like I said in the chat, like a lot of people, think that a lot of things are just common sense and that they don't need to discuss these things ahead of time. And then they end up with egg on their face when this type of stuff happens, right? Because they never begged to have that discussion in the first place about what's acceptable behavior, because they just assumed that their partner just knew what it was. But honestly, most of this just makes me think back to like a situation ages ago, like in my early 20s, when I was working in the entertainment industry, and I was, I was dating a dude. He wasn't working in the entertainment industry, but we went out to a group event, and all the people around the bonfire were just asking, "Who's your celebrity crush?" Right? Just a simple, small question: "Who's your celebrity crush?" At the time, this was before all the controversy. Mine was Kanye West, and he got upset with me because he thought, you know what, hush up, cut it out. I'm not a disciple. Stop it already. But at the time, because of my access in the industry, he thought I would have the opportunity to fulfill that fantasy. So he thought that it was disrespectful for me to even answer that question. Flash forward to later that same evening when we had to make like a run to the store for like more drinks for the party. And he was still in school at the time. I was in school as well. But we ran into one of his classmates. Meanwhile, we're walking through the aisle all lovey-dovey, holding hands, PDA on full display. And we run into one of his female classmates. I kid you not, this dude shook my hand loose and introduced me as a friend to this woman. We was in a whole... Right. He had access and opportunity more so than I did, even in that state of my career. Okay. So on a daily basis. Okay. So for me, that was more disrespectful and more hurtful and more like, oh, you would cheat. I mean, you pretty much told me that she's hollered at you and this is long distance at that, so when I leave town, I don't know what goes down, So I just think for me, like just me mentioning that that's my celebrity crush was disrespectful, but you wholly like disowning me in the moment in front of someone that you're going to actually see and have access to on a daily basis, that to me seems more plausible. So, I mean, that's all I got to say about that. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I just was wondering how much is, because I had two. Do we want the one that's how much is too much to share on the first date?
You can combine them technically because it's all in the same premise.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So like, yeah, I was just thinking like outside of like meeting and like getting to know each other, like what's really the purpose of a first date? I guess I asked because like so many times I've been on like first dates where the dude just didn't have a plan. Like he didn't have no kind of plan of action. And then if I so much as made a suggestion, now it's I don't know how to follow. I'm not allowing him to lead. And it's like, well, I gave you the opportunity to lead. You didn't even lead me to sustenance. You didn't even lead me to no dinner. So I don't really know what's the plan. Like, I get first impressions, but outside of that, outside of first impressions, outside of like, getting to know each other, what is the purpose anymore? Like I feel like I'm unclear on what's the purpose anymore.
Okay. All right, y'all. So the question is, what is the purpose of the first date? Or, right? Is that a good summary of it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's raise some hands. Chris, I expect you to raise your hand on this one. This is literally the most phenomenal layup you could ever have, Chris. I've never seen a broader layup. If you don't take this, then
take the lob.
You're not actually banned,
say, brother. You're not actually banned, man.
Yeah. No, it's
from
because
that last topic. You were.
Yeah. You weren't actually banned, bro. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I closed the chat during Key's last statement.
Yep. This is. I've never seen a more phenomenal lob, Chris. This is literally a question made for you. So if you don't,
Can I go first?
Nah, let him cook. Let him cook. This is the perfect opportunity for Chris. So, Chris.
The purpose. Okay, go ahead.
What is the purpose of the first date, Chris? What is the purpose?
Oh, for me, it's to see if I'm compatible with that particular woman. To see if that woman is following my lead. And I was giving some advice to the man, and men, I was saying to the man, like, how do you know if God hasn't sent you anybody? Because God might have sent you somebody, but you don't know the signs that the woman is into you because you never really went out on dates. See, I've been on multiple dates. I've been dating women since what, 2019. I've had a couple of like girlfriends, so I know right away when a woman is actually feeling me just by if she's following my direction. So if I tell this woman to sit right here and she's telling me, oh, we need to sit over there, I already know that woman does not like me. Why? Because she's not following my lead. So there are signs that women are giving you that they actually don't like you. For example, I'm glad she brought up what to do on the first date. I always tell women what we're gonna do. I always make the plans first. So for me, I like going to classy bars. So I say to women, yo, this is what we're gonna do. We're going to meet at XYZ bar. This is the time, this is the date. Dress casually. So either they're gonna follow you or either they're not. So really that's for me to see if you and I are compatible, to see if you actually like me and you actually desire me like I desire you. Then if everything lines up, then we can move forward with other things.
Okay.
So I made it simple. So going back to her thing. So when the guy told you what you wanted to do, what that guy was telling you is that guy doesn't have a life. Really. So if a guy comes up to you as a woman and he asks you what you want to do, what that man is telling you, he does not have a life. So be ready for that man to be texting you all day. Be ready for that man to be love bombing you all day, because that man is telling you that he does not have a life. He does not know how to lead. That's what he's telling you. So what you women need to look out for is when a guy comes up to you and say, hey, I want to meet up for drinks. Here's the time. Here's the actual place that we're meeting at. Either you can say yay or nay. So go with those guys. Don't go with the guys that ask you what you want to do, because guess what? Those situations are not going to turn out good. Because women have told me, go ahead.
Nah, I was about to say, hold on. We might need to let him cook, because you started off good. You was dribbling down the court, then you punched the guy, got a foul. We put you in the penalty box halfway through, but then when you came back off the bench, you started playing like it was game 7. So
Shout out to the Patriots.
Yeah, you might be cooking. So go ahead, wrap it up so we can go ahead, wrap up your point, gang.
Nah, because as you know, I do lift, and I had a couple of girls in my car say to me, "Oh, like this guy just start like moving in my house, and he's not actually doing anything," and that comes from, once again, that starts from that particular situation with the man asking them what they want to do, and that's how those situations lead. It starts from those situations.
Okay, shout out to Chris. All right, y'all. Let's get to anybody else that has any input on what is the purpose of the first date. Let's do it.
Honestly, the real purpose of a first date is when both y'all is sitting at a table at a reservation, try to engage in the conversation to make the conversation more interesting, get to know each other more, and all that type of stuff. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I see. That is actually the real purpose of a first date, is make sure the conversation is not boring. Try to engage in the conversation, basically pay attention to what you guys are talking about, and get to know each other and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
You have to engage in the conversation to not make the convo boring while the both of y'all is talking to each other, and make sure you make eye contact and looking at each other, and make sure that the both of y'all is into each other. Feel me?
Okay.
Right.
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Universal, what is the purpose of the first date, brother?
Well, the purpose of dating really is to get married. So the purpose of the first date is to make sure that this person have sufficient interest in you that you could see yourself and their self taking that next step. Of course, not immediately, but in the future. So the purpose is to ascertain that how much interest is there before it's about compatibility and everything else. The first is interest and what level of commitment are you getting from this person? And of course, it's the first day. So when I say commitment, I'm speaking about commitment in the most broadest sense possible, right? But I just wanted to respond to what not the last person, but the person before said that if somebody is, what he said, if somebody is asking what to do, then that person doesn't know how to lead and all kind of nonsense. Just to give the other side to that coin, a man who is abusive will take the lead, right? So this point in my mind is a bit foolish in the sense that taking the lead or not, but taking the lead, there are extremes on both sides. There are men who are confident they will take the lead. There are abusive men who will also be taking the lead. So taking the lead isn't in and of itself saying much.
Okay.
And secondly, someone like me who could respond to a whole variety of personalities, because I could speak on a whole list of topics. And what happens on my dates is that women tend to feel out your level of intelligence, and they would want you to lead. Once they realize, hey, you're of a certain level, they would because they wouldn't want to sound foolish.
Right.
And but the thing is, my whole goal is to draw out who this person is, because I want to know what type of person you are. So sometimes not so much that I want you to lead, but I want you to start off a conversation that is close to your heart. Because I could always start off a conversation where the theme is close to my heart. But at the end of the day, I'm not really getting to know who this person is. And at the same time, this person could just project all what I say and just project that into how they are. But if I ask a question it may appear as if I am allowing them to lead, then I get to have a better idea of who the person is. So it's not a cut and dry, well, I'm the man, so I come here to lead and I give any time, any place, and that kind of nonsense. And because to me, that's foolish. A woman could just sit back and say, hey, but it's what you like, and she could just play a whole role for you. And that's not what you really want at the end of the day. So I just wanted to give the other side to the coin, how that strategy could backfire on a man. Yeah. So that's what I want to say. So to say you need to have like a balance where you're leading, but where you're drawing out the person, where they could also lead as well, so that you could get a gauge who this person really is. Yeah. So that's it.
Okay. No, that's a good response. Shout out to Universal. All right. I think it was Miles. Miles is up next. Miles, what is the purpose of the first date, brother?
See if she gonna earn her keep during the date. No, I'm just playing.
That is crazy.
No, I'm joking.
You about to take a lap. You acting up today.
I want to piggyback off little bro, man. Stepper said it best. You know, the date, really, you just want to find out if you're compatible with this person, right? You know, both of you guys got to come together like a puzzle, you know? So you pick out the date where, the way I look at it personally, from my point of view, I like to feel like we're not even dating. Like, it's so, like, everything doesn't seem so, like, so non-organic. If it's organic, where we're just laughing, joking, everything is just naturally flowing the way it's supposed to flow, and it don't even feel like we're dating, like it's just like we got like two best friends hanging out, I'm like, this is what a date's supposed to be. If I feel like I gotta, oh yeah, let me ask her what she wants to have for dessert. Oh, let me ask her how her day was. Let me, you know, I'm like overly thinking and stuff. I'm like, all right, this might not be right for me. She ain't for me. I'm not for her. But if it's just organic, like we have so much fun. We lost track of time. You know, we don't even know what time it is now. We've been in each other's space for so long. The sun then came down. You got something. You really got something. And then you know you got something, and you want to go for a second date where you maybe get to know more about her, know her story before she met you. You know, there's a story before they met you, right? There's a story in the beginning they were born to the day they meet you, and you got a story to be told. She liked your story, you like her story, then y'all come together, you close your stories, come together, write a new story. Call it something like unity. Because where I've come from a Jersey, you can't spell unity without you and I. And then the story from there becomes huge after that. Shout out to Queen Latifah, because she made a song called Unity. And that's just basically kind of how I view it, though. And yeah. Oh, and shout out to Chris too, because he just failing so much today. You know, the whole telling the girl to sit here. That's just bad. Yeah. Hey, Chris, don't do that where we from. You ain't gonna make it, player. The Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten, Uptown, Brick City, East Orange. No, don't do it. I don't know how they do it in Ohio, but don't come over on the East Coast doing that and telling a girl, "Oh, sit right here. You sit." Yeah, okay, there ain't no dogs. I'm just letting you know. Don't do that. So yeah, thought you might want to know that. Some more advice as we lay the hand on you and give you your blessing.
Bear Claw is fed up. He said, "We had peace, man. We had peace in the East."
All right. Appreciate you, Miles, my brother. Appreciate you. Let's go, Jules. And then Stepper. Come on, Jules.
Alrighty. Purpose of a first date. Easy. Compatibility. You gotta find out if y'all are compatible with each other. And more importantly, you gotta get to know the other person first. Before y'all move into relationships, you gotta get to know the other person first. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like that's at least to me, that's the purpose of a first date. You gotta get to know the other person first before y'all move into a relationship.
Fuck. You are not wrong. All right, appreciate you, Jules. Stepper, go ahead and come on up. For your piece. Hello, Stepper? My brother?
He is at work, so he might not be able to talk right now. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Hello. Oh, so what's the purpose of the first date?
Yes, sir.
Oh, like I said, the real purpose of a first date is to basically just like keep the conversation going, keep it simple, and just like basically make sure the convo's not boring. Keep it interested. Make sure that she's into it.
Oh, we already had you answer her, Stepper.
Stepper already won.
Yeah, my fault, Stepper.
Okay.
We forgot to drag you down,
I know
bro.
you
My
was
fault,
already
gang.
here, bro. Yeah.
My fault,
go ahead.
gang.
All right. Armed Swordsman.
Shout out
and
Stepper.
Yeshua close us off, bro. Yeah, shout out Stepper. And that'll be another successful episode of the Flock Talk. Armed Swordsman. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, the first date to me, I think it's all about getting to know the person. But I mean, and I am willing to accept criticism when it comes to this. But I think a lot of acting goes on the first date. And me personally, I am a person who I don't really like the acting. So a lot of times I'll ask like blunt questions, right? And just to try to get an engagement, because one of the like something that happened that shocked me is I was trying to have a conversation with this girl, right? And she kept giving me the blandest answers. And then after I ended the interaction, later I heard that, I was just a boring person. I was like, what? I was trying so hard to engage the girl, and apparently I was just boring. I was like, oh, okay. If that's what it is, then fine. But like, if I ask you, like, for example, I say, tell me about yourself, right? And you give me a job, and that's all. Like, all I have to work with is your job. So to follow up the conversation, I have to ask, like, maybe, how is your job? How do you like it? Or something like that, right? To follow up the conversation. And I don't understand, like, it's just so weird when they're trying to talk to somebody and they're giving you the blandest answers. Long story short, that just taught me, like, sometimes it's just like to just cut out some people based on the conversation. And additionally, I also wanted to say, like, there's a lot of experience and a lot of things you can learn by dating. And I'd try to, how do I say this now? I would just like to, say to Chris that, you may need a bit more help, because you thinking a girl following you means that she likes you will put you in a very uncomfortable situation, because trust me, there are girls who play a role to get what they want, especially when they know something about you. Like this God-fearing man, a lot of women say they want. I've come to realize that that is because a lot of people think a God-fearing man is going to accept a lot of the foolishness that they come with. I've come to learn that females think that God-fearing men are traditional men, and so there's two main things that come with being traditional, and that is providing and protecting. And they don't care about the leading part, they don't care about the responsibility part, they don't care about the accountability part, don't care about none of that. Care about those two things, and so they'll play a role, and you'll think that, she actually likes me, and she respects me. Come to find out, it was just a role to get certain things in, and she's now in a certain position, and all of a sudden, she's no longer there. So I'll just like to inform Chris, her following is not enough. There's much more to it.
All right.
All right.
Okay, Yeshua, and then
Big
Big
Moose.
Moose close us off. Yeah, Yeshua, go ahead, brother.
Good night again.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me just say, Chris, you know what, let me not even go there. So, the purpose of a first date, right? I think the purpose of a first date is to establish the connection that was initially there. Because to even go on a first date, there must have been something like you were attracted to them, you like how they walk, you like how they talk, probably you thought they had chemistry. So that first date is to just establish that, just to ensure that what you saw initially was true. You do actually have chemistry, you do actually like them. Because sometimes it could be that they just caught you in a very good mood and you thought you liked them, but you spend time with them and say, I think I was just having a good day and I gave them a chance. Or it could have been that, the sun was shining and the lighting made the person look good, but in fact, they're not really my type. So from there, you then carry it further by setting the expectations, setting what you think you should get from it. You should leave a first date knowing what you want for the future. Is it that you want them to be a girlfriend or boyfriend? Is it that you want them to be a wife or husband eventually? Or is it that you just want something casual, right? You should be able to want more of the person, to meet them more, to see them more. Because at first date, you wouldn't necessarily know if you're compatible fully. But the first date is to establish that you first saw, and then get the proper expectation to move forward. It should give you the drive and passion to see them more, to be more intentional in the future. And if you see it don't work out, then they're just not for you. And if you see that they can't plan, they can't lead, then what you saw initially to give them your number or even set the date was false. It was just a facade, if you should say that. So that's how I see it.
Shout out Yeshua. Cooking up. All right, Big Moose. Take us home, big dog. Let's see it. What is the purpose of the first date? Wrap it up.
I think the purpose of the first date is like basically your first impression of you, that person. Like you going out, that's why I like to do stuff that, interacts with somebody. Like you get to know that person and you want to see if you're going to move forward with said person. Right? Like I said, you just telling yourself to see, hey, are we compatible? Something simple. I think, as I said, it's just an introduction to really get to know that person, or y'all get to know each other. I said, I don't really have too much. Sorry, it's not going to be super long, but I think it's just like an introduction to each other and get to know that person, and hell, to see if y'all want to move forward and go on a second date and then go from there. That's what I think like a first date is, pretty much. To see how you are as a person and see how you act in public and react to each other, and your likes and dislikes and all that stuff.
Okay. No, that's perfectly fine. That answer is perfectly fine. Does anybody up here want to answer, or are you guys just ready to wrap this up?
No, like they all said really good topics.
Yeah, they covered out. The last time I was on a date, man, that was terrible. I told y'all about that story.
Oh yeah,
So,
100%.
nah, man, yeah. Riding
You know what?
around.
You know what, Wes?
You want some food?
You know what,
Nah,
Wes?
I don't want no
Maybe-
food. We getting that McDonald's line. Can I have some of your fries? Man, I just asked you if you wanted some food, bro. This is my sandwich and these is my fries, bro. I said let's go to the restaurant. Let's do something. You wasn't trying to do Nathan, and now you want some of my fries. That's crazy. I gave them, but I wasn't happy. You feel me? Like what's up, bro?
No, we can't.
Man, y'all put me on Pop the Balloon. It's gonna be a viral episode for sure. They don't know me, bro. I really do that, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, we gonna host it in Discord. Pop the Balloon or Find Love for Wes, man. We gonna line them up. Get some eligible queens that love video games, love anime, and love do-rags. And then we just gonna have y'all line up and match y'all up with the light-skinned voice of 2G18, man. But all jokes aside, it is getting about that time, my good people. It's about time. This Flock Talk was a lot longer than the last couple episodes. I know next week is gonna be a really good Flock Talk because that topic Bear Claw put, that's a topic for people, man. Hey, do me a solid, like the stream, and when the Flock Talk gets uploaded tomorrow, make sure you guys leave a like and a nice comment. That way we can get it pushed to the algorithm. Make sure you guys are here next week for next week's Flock Talk. It is gonna be a good Flock Talk. Pop the Balloon is not gonna be 90% of the Flock Talk. We're gonna actually start trying to migrate it a little bit more. That we'll probably start doing Pop the Balloon towards the end of the Flock Talks to wrap it up and start focusing more on actual topics before. So let's start putting topics in the Flock Talk channel. Jules, Key, Bear Claw, I thank you guys for actually following and actually doing it. You guys got to understand.
Let's put some topics in there too.
Blessed be doing it. Everybody that puts topics in the Flock Talk topics is the reason why Flock Talk is as good as it should be. If you guys have stuff you guys want to talk about, please put it in there. It helps us out. Also, it's for you guys to talk about. All right. But without further ado, we would like to thank everybody for being out here. We thank you guys for tuning in, tapping in, being a part of it. We thank you guys for everybody that shared their thoughts. Once again, Miles was indeed right about the suit thing. I will give him his glory. I will give him his flowers. I'm not a petty dude. Chris did cook up on that last topic. I'm not gonna hold him. And at the end of the day, I thank West and I thank Alex and I thank Nitro. I thank Jules. I thank Demetrius. I thank all the moderators. Also, shout out to the YouTube chat. Shout out to you guys for commenting. We do want you guys to be more engaged with the YouTube chat. Please type more. Even come into the Discord. I know we weren't spamming the link, but you guys are welcome here. See you guys next week. Peace out.